FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
KHTKAM HD1 Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios.
Do you know what those chumps are?
Sactown
Texas
Sports.
at all?
Feeding your passion for local sports in the afternoon.
Yeah.
It's the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper on your radio at 1140 a.m.
Streaming audio at SactownSports.com and the Sactown Sports app.
You can also watch the show on YouTube at Sactown Sports 1140. Here are the Drive Guys with Kevin Gleason and Kyle Draper.
Yeah, out at the Golden One Center, where tonight Kings will be taking on the Nuggets, also celebrating Lunar New Year.
Whitey, Gleason, Kyle Draper, it's the year of the dragon, Draper. Yes, hope the Kings are not dragging their behinds around on defense tonight like they were Wednesday.
No excuses tonight, Whitey.
Yeah.
Zero excuses. After that shellacking that the Pistons put on us,
Yes.
the Nuggets come in, had a tough game last night against the Lakers. I need these guys to come out breathing fire like a dragon out here tonight.
Yes.
Come on now.
Already
Show
been
me something.
Busy day here at the Golden One Center. Monty McNair meeting with the media. It was interesting. The first question he got, we're all digging in here and wondering. I'm watching on YouTube. I was not in attendance today, but we're all anxious to hear about that. What's going on here? Why didn't they make any moves? And the first question was from a very respected reporter, so it's fine. But first question was, hey, Keon Ellis has a new deal.
I tell you what, I almost threw my laptop across the room. I'm like, is that what we're doing, Sacramento media? We just want to lob softball after softball. And we got a little more media as it went on. But you're right. I noticed that too. I was like, this is exactly what I was talking about, because I mentioned it yesterday. I was in Chicago last week. Billy Donovan got raked over the coals, grilled by that media. Here in Sacramento, we're very nice, very respectful. And, the way that started, I was like, oh, my gosh, just unbelievable. I literally thought, Drapes, hop in your car, get the Golden One, at least ask one tough question. But it got better. It better.
It did. What was the most pointed question for you, and/or what was the most interesting response? I just thought it was interesting. Jason Anderson asking about, you're talking a lot about offense here, and the defense needs to get better, and that's not really what Mike Brown's saying.
Right.
So, or things lined up there. That was
trying to stir things up. I love Jason.
Yeah.
You could tell he was trying to, massage it just a little enough to. I think for me, a couple of things stood out. One, Monty saying that we have the 17 guys here that can get it done, make a run this year. I thought that was a little shocking, a little, almost naive, because we see the issues that this team has. I also, he also talked about how when you look at the reasons not to make a move, there wasn't anything out there at the cost that they were willing to pay. And so I do believe him at his word when he says, we tried to be active. We were very active in conversations. Like, I don't think they're just sitting back, hands crossed. Oh, we're good to go. We're totally fine. I do think they tried to get some things done. But, as we've talked about with Monty and Wes and those guys, they're going to take a measured approach. It's not going to be, flip the switch and make it happen now. But, my issue with the whole situation is the Kings, in my opinion, are a few pieces away from winning the championship. Why not address some of the smaller pieces now? It doesn't have to be go out there and make fireworks right now. I would have liked a smaller move, just something that maybe moves you a little further closer to the goal line.
My read on it is that it was, we know it was a seller's market. There were a lot more teams interested in acquiring things than there were teams willing to sell things off. So that raises the prices. And it looks to me like the Kings looked at that and said, we're going to have to overpay to get some of these guys. And I know that there's some players that were acquired where you'd say, well, they didn't have to give that much to get them. I'm guessing they figured it's not worth giving up. Well, we have to get these guys who they felt weren't really moving them any closer to the ultimate goal. Maybe this year they would have been a little better. I'm guessing that's their read. And I'm okay with it. I know a lot of fans are not. I'm okay with it because you look at all the other teams, the Hawks and the Bulls and the Warriors and the Lakers and the Nuggets. There's a lot of teams that their fans want them to do something and they did nothing.
Yeah. You're right. I mean, we thought DeJounte Murray was going to be on the move. How about the Lakers? We thought they were going to do something. And so I do think when you look at, the Kings and Monty McNair, the front office, I do think they have a master plan, meaning they have a 6-month plan, a 3-year plan, and a 5-year plan. And I think, they're still on that plan. Like he said, they're not going to do something now. And he raised this point talking about the defense. Well, we're not going to upgrade the defense and then sacrifice the offense. The offense gets worse, and then we have another problem. And so I don't think there was a cure-all there. It's something that, a move that could be made that would, help the defense without hurting the offense. Really what you need is two-way players, and those are very hard to find and hard to come across.
Yeah. And now one of their two-way guys, not in the sense that you're talking about, Keon Ellis signing a 3-year deal, so he gets a real contract. That's a great story. How much does it help the team? We'll see. And we'll be talking more about Monty and the press conference throughout the show. You mentioned making plans, and I got your back here, and I know you guys are going to Oklahoma City. Is
OKC.
Tonight or tomorrow?
Fly out tomorrow morning.
All right.
Yes.
So I did some checking for you on things to do in Oklahoma City this weekend.
All right, what you got for me?
It's not a great list. I got to be honest with you. I don't know if you've been to these places before. They have the National Cowboy and Western Heritage Museum there.
Okay.
Stockyard City. I don't know what that is. I don't think I want to.
City.
Oh, do you? Okay.
Yeah, it's a happening area.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. And the Museum of Osteology is having a Valentine's forensics exhibit through Valentine's Day. That's where they just have a bunch of skeletons and things. So I'm sorry, that's the best I could do for you.
Now they got good steakhouses, though.
They? Okay.
They got Mickey Mantle's restaurant.
Oh, okay.
They got AAA baseball. I know it's not baseball season, but AAA
They
baseball.
do have a hockey team, I think.
Hockey,
too.
yeah. I mean, OKC's an up and coming spot. I wish I need to check the schedule. I wonder if Oklahoma basketball has a game. Maybe I'll do that tomorrow night. If they're a 7:00 game or something like that, I might do that.
Yeah. And
OU basketball.
How excited are you now for the Super Bowl? And I know you and I go back and forth about the 49ers.
Yeah.
It's interesting because listening to Styles and Watkins today, and they wrap things up today in Vegas. Great job. You hear the people on their show and just experts and reporters writing about the game. I know the odds makers say the 49ers are favorites, but there's a lot of people picking the Chiefs.
Yeah, a lot of people picking the Chiefs. A lot of people taking some shots at the Niners. We talked off air about Ross Tucker and some of the things he said. I think people have a hard time not only believing Brock Purdy, but also doubting Patrick Mahomes and Andy Reid. I mean, if you just look at the coach, quarterback, you would think, the Chiefs got to be favored. But when you look at the totality of the team, the totality of the season, right now, Whitey, who would you say is the better team? Niners, right?
I think it's the 49ers.
Yeah, exactly. And I would agree with you in that. But in the Super Bowl, the biggest of stages, I think it's hard for people to be like, yep, I'm going with Brock Purdy.
Yeah, I get that. I know a lot of people have said, I picked against Patrick Mahomes and I got burned. I'm never picking against him. Well, I'm one of the people that picked him to beat Tom Brady in Tampa Bay. I picked him and got burned. And it's interesting because I think a lot of what happened in that game could apply to this game. If the 49ers freaking defensive front ever plays like they're supposed to play.
Right.
Patrick Mahomes in that Super Bowl against Tampa Bay, that was a weird Super Bowl with the pandemic and everything. But he was on his back all day. Yeah. He had no chance. It wasn't that he played badly. It's like he just had no time to do anything. If the 49ers can do that, I think they've got an excellent chance to win the game. And like I said, and I think Herm Edwards alluded to this yesterday, it's about time those guys did that for what they're getting paid.
Right. You're talking about not only you come into the season with a great defensive line, you go out there and bring in a Randy Gregory. You go out there and trade for a Chase Young. You've added to what is supposed to be the strength of your defense. And so now it's time. Those guys need to step up.
Yeah.
You're 100% right, because they didn't step up in week 1 of the playoffs, week 2 of the playoffs, those first couple of games. Now they need to go out there and earn their money for sure.
Yeah, they spent all that money in the offseason on Hargrave. They spent all that money in the offseason. Remember Bosa?
Yes.
We were talking before the season started. Is Bosa going to come in? What happens? When is it a problem? They spend all this money on him, and then that's one of their most underperforming units, and it's the unit that they're spending the most money on. So
Right.
it's all worth it, right? If they come through Sunday, it's all worth it.
Yeah, and it's funny because Herm brought it up yesterday with Chase Young. Like, hopefully Chase realizes you're playing in the Super Bowl here. Like, you actually gotta try hard and play hard. And so, honestly, I have zero idea how this game is going to play out on Sunday.
Mm-hmm.
Nothing would surprise me in this game. Like, I think Patrick Mahomes, Travis Kelce going off game, that wouldn't surprise me. The Niners defense getting after it and holding KC to 14, 17 points, that would not surprise me at all. And so I don't know what's going to happen, and I'm so excited to watch this game. We're going to be watching it as a team out there in Oklahoma City. They got food prepared for us and everything. So, no, hopefully we'll be coming off a Kings win and into a Chiefs, yeah.
I didn't hear
Yeah.
any of that. I didn't hear any of that. I think what would surprise me, and so since it would surprise me, there's a very good chance it'll happen. But looking at the way the Chiefs have played, if this is a high-scoring game on both sides, I certainly that's possible because Patrick Mahomes historically lights up the 49ers.
Yeah.
But if it's a high-scoring game, I think that would surprise me because you look at the Chiefs so far this year in the playoffs, 26-7 they won, 27-24, 17-7. I think that 27-24 game against Buffalo, that might be a good indicator of how this is going to go. Kansas City, they just don't give up a ton of points.
Yeah, they don't give up a ton of points, and they don't score a ton of points either. Like, and so I think a shootout, a high-scoring game, favors the Niners. Like, can the Niners win a 21-17 kind of game?
That's like Chiefs football.
Yeah, that's
like
Chiefs
their
football.
game.
That's
Yeah.
what they're looking for. And so if I'm the Niners, I'm looking for a high-scoring game. You get the offense going. And, the thing about the Niners, we've seen it time and time and time again. Once that offense gets flowing, once they get that momentum, they can put up points in a hurry so quickly. And so it wouldn't surprise me if that happens. I don't know, man. I tell you what, if the Chiefs don't win, the Phoenix flu might be
No. Come on, you're better than that.
that
say
desert air. That
You-
desert air.
You say that and I understand, but we know you.
I
We know
would
you're gonna-
show up.
yeah.
I would show up on Monday for sure.
Yeah, and you'll have a great time.
It'll be fun. It's gonna, I understand the back and forth I have with the Niners fans and the fans here in Sacramento. I actually enjoy it. It's all love. Like, it's never personal. It's some good ribbing. And if the Niners win,
Yeah,
I'll congratulate their fan base. Nice win.
I hope we have that recorded.
I know, but I'm gonna be like, can Brock Purdy do it again? No. Before we talk
All
about,
right.
you got to do it 2 years in a row to be considered great.
Yeah. By the way, your boy McCaffrey actually finished well ahead of Brock in the MVP.
How about that?
Yeah.
How about
Yeah.
that? Like
Yeah.
I said, and the fact that Dak finished ahead of both those guys too,
Mhm.
that was a little shocking.
I was a little surprised. Damar Hamlin, who literally
Oh, that's all
died,
you. That's
he literally dies and comes back.
Comes
Well, yeah,
back.
that's not comeback player of the year, Joe Flacco.
right.
That's
I mean, that's like he's the comeback player in the life. Like,
Yes.
that's like
yes.
you can't get any bigger than a comeback than what
Right.
we saw from DeMar.
Yeah, like,
He went from dead to alive.
and even
like,
Joe
think about
Flacco
it.
said, "I don't even know what I came back from."
Right.
All right, more on all that, and Monty explaining why the Kings did nothing at the deadline today. Are you buying that? We're diving into that when we come right back to the Golden One Center Drive. Guys, Sactown Sports, happy Friday.
Kevin Herter plays here.
It's Herter. He's been hot. He fires. He's still hot. Kevin Herter from downtown has a 15-point first quarter.
Sactown Sports is your proud home of the Sacramento Kings.
Hello, I'm Frank Hocker with Retirement Security Centers with a weekly economic update. Last week, Puxatawny Phil, our resident animal meteorologist, made his prediction. He didn't see a shadow, so he predicted an early spring. While there is little evidence to suggest an extended winter prediction causes noticeable stock market correlation either upward or downward, an early spring prediction has. The average appreciation of U.S. stock market growth is 2.78% after an early spring prediction. Surprisingly, the stock market moves prior to this prediction, sometimes up to 2 weeks before. Overall, markets are efficient and rational, digesting available information to approximate what the value of shares should be. Rational investors may see this early spring behavior and act on it, anticipating more irrational investor behavior. As anomalies such as the Groundhog Day effect become more well-known, they tend to disappear. So maybe the future Phil will keep his day job as a meteorologist and allow others to provide professional financial advice. How might this affect you or your family? Please go to frankontheradio.com to schedule an appointment, watch videos, and receive market updates. Opportunity to help you start your journey so you can define your future.
Frank Cockrell is a registered representative of Lincoln Financial Advisors Corporation, a broker-dealer member SIPC and registered investment advisor. Retirement Security Centers is not an affiliate of Lincoln Financial Advisors.
Our Styles and Watkins road trip.
Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, mad props to our friends Styles and Watkins wrap things up in Vegas. Now I think, and I know this won't make you happy, Drapes, I think they're like going to parties tonight and stuff.
Dude, my whole life is a party. I'm okay. You know what, though? I'm happy for those guys. They're youngins, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
These guys are, wet behind the ears still. I've been to Vegas 1,000 times. Trust me. I let the young kids have it. They can have that.
Yeah, and you're going to Oklahoma City.
I tell you what, my people out there on the YouTube and on the text line, 916-339-1140, Bedlam Hoops tomorrow at 6 is the word. Oklahoma State. Your boy is going to be in the building.
You picked the perfect day.
Perfect day. Exactly. We get in time. I make the drive down to Norman, hop in the Uber, head on down. I think I will do that tomorrow night.
What is this? Ryan Williams art. Yeah. Nice lighting you guys have there. Are you broadcasting from a strip club? We don't really control the lighting. And you're right. For some reason, they had it really dark in here. I think it's starting to brighten up.
Brighten up. I thought he was talking about Oklahoma. He's like, there's a spot in Oklahoma. I know. I was about to write that there. Not that I would go to a place like that. But no, we can't. We got this one little desk light that's right here.
We got to send you guys a ring light. We gotta get you guys set up with one of those ring lights that podcasters use.
Make that happen, Kyle.
So you want mine? You want me to send it be yours for the game next week?
Yeah, I thought you go to the bosses and get that in the budget.
Yeah, we're working on that, Ryan Williams. Thanks for noticing. By the way, I noticed today watching Monty's press conference. You probably noticed this too if you watch it on the YouTube. A lot of our regulars that are in our chat were participating in the chat for Monty's.
Oh, really? Oh, yes. I didn't know that.
Emmy was in there. Emma Drock was in there. I'm going to forget some people. I think Manny Too Legit was in there. So for some of you, you've heard this. We're going to play you a portion of Monty's press conference today, and this is it goes on a little bit, about a 5-minute segment here from his media conference today, and then we'll break down what Monty had to say as he talks about, among other things here. Let's see, where are we starting here? Oh, yeah. First thing Monty wants to improve offensively with the Kings is pace, and here's Monty today.
Got too quick. You've mentioned the offense a few times. What specifically do you think you need to improve offensively? Where do you see the issues?
I think one big one is our pace. We were pretty clear number one last year. This year we've had some really good moments. We all know what De'Aaron can do. But we just got to be more consistent of that's one where we can impose our will and where our defense should help us. We're number one in defensive rebounding. Right. But we got to run off those. We got to be better there. That's a big one. And I think it's that the rest just gets back to the consistency of, we've had some highs. We just haven't done it night in, night out, like maybe we did last year. But I think we've seen some really good improvements. We've been a little better. Our shooting in particular has come back. But I think the pace is the number one thing I would point to, because that is in our control more than shot making or things like that.
Kind of a broader league-wide trade deadline question, but how have you seen the dynamics of the market shift now, play in maybe the second apron, the new CBA this year? And did you feel like it was maybe an overpriced market for buyers?
Yeah, I think the play-in for sure has, I think, given teams more things to work towards, not just to make the play-in, but it's different to be 7-8 versus 9-10. You get 2 chances instead of 1. It's really important to get in the top 6 where you're in. So all those things, it used to just be in or out and then maybe home court. So, that just gives teams more things where they can't just rest. Everybody's trying to improve. I think some of the new cap stuff, teams were still figuring out how that's going to affect team building, not just now, but into the future. This has kind of been a transition year based on the new CBA. I think it's good for the league. Most teams are trying to win and compete and get better. It maybe means some of those more traditional straight seller trades aren't there. But we still saw some movement around the leagues as different teams felt they needed to do something. I think for us, we're always trying to put ourselves in a spot where we're never pressed into something and we get to do it on our own terms. And, credit to our medical staff. Again, we haven't been as healthy as last year, but pretty healthy. Our main guys are producing. It's just, we think we got enough in-house. And whether I don't know, it's hard to, without sitting back. I did get some sleep last night, but I haven't really taken a step back and seen what the league has done market-wise, but it does seem like there's been just fewer of those straight sellers, more teams just trying to improve however they can.
Hi, Monty. A couple questions for you. One, you've talked about the offense-defense thing. Obviously, there's, I'm sure, healthy debate like within every organization. Mike has really pressed for the defensive improvement, saying that to have postseason success, you've got to be, I think in his mind, top 10 defensively. Is that, or are you guys 100% on the same page with that part of it, and or is there maybe some give and take in terms of that discussion?
I think we all know we got to be better on both ends because we're not where we need to be. But I think the defense was the easiest thing for us to improve. As we mentioned, we wanted to maintain our offense to get there. And right now our offense has slipped as our defense has improved, and we're in similar spot. I think maybe the same record to this point as last year. But I think the biggest thing for us is that at the end of the night, we got to have more points than the other team. And especially in the playoffs, you're going to have to go and stop some really, really tough players. I mean, just look up and down the West. I mean, it doesn't matter who you play. You're going to have multi-time All-Stars, All-NBA guys, future Hall of Famers that you're going to have to stop. So, we got to learn to do that, because when April and May come, we got to do that. At the same time, we got to figure out, a way to score, because in this league, I mean, it's taken 110, 120, 130 to win. So, we got to do both, because we can't have a good defensive performance go to waste because we can't score enough. So, it's always a two-way street. I do think the easiest thing that we've seen in the past is to be top 10 offense defense. That usually gets you in a pretty good spot. But, we saw Denver last year win the title without a top 10 defense. So if you can be special enough on one end, Boston way back when I started in the league won it without, I think, a top 10 offense with a really good defense. So both can work. We just got to figure out a way to, for us to get out of the 5, 6, 7 grouping. And if we can do both, we can get into that top 4.
Monty McNair today. Lots to chew on there before we get to that. Kyle Draper has breaking Kings news.
Breaking news from the Sacramento Kings. Several local guys, including our Frankie Cardicelli, Brendan Nunez, also reporting this. Woj also on this. Free agent guard Mason Jones signing a 2-way deal with the Sacramento Kings. He's been playing with the Stockton Kings this season. And so, that position opened up with Keon Ellis, being given that 3-year contract. And is so, we'll see if Mason Jones, I don't know much about him. Been playing with Stockton.
6'4" guard.
6'4" guard, yeah.
Averaging 13 a game.
So, just, who says they didn't do anything at the deadline? So, we'll see.
Great, good for him.
No,
great news for him.
Yeah.
Congratulations.
Good news for Keon too, man. That's massive. Like to go from a 2-way guy to get a multi-year contract. Shout out to him, man. Well deserved.
As far as Monty's press conference today, having heard it and then just hearing a little bit of it again, digesting it. What doesn't quite sit well with me all the way is this notion, as we heard there, that he doesn't want to go to a place where, the defense, boy, that's our problem. It's more like defense is better. Our offense is not as good.
Right.
And even there, when he was asked about, hey, Mike Brown is, says the defense needs to be better. You seem to be saying the offense. What's going on there? And he says, well, we thought the defense was the simplest thing to improve. So it's almost like you're saying, the defense is not the problem.
Right.
And I
we
feel
need
like
to get back to being our offense.
When I watch them play, I feel like the defense is definitely a problem.
I'm not going to say 100% of the problem. It's 100% a problem. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And you can't allow teams, and Will Z Stats had this tweet that he put out, teams versus the Kings 3-point shooting versus everybody else in the league's three. And historically, like routinely, teams just have career nights or their best nights. They shoot above average from three. There is no way, because it's all about winning the championship, Whitey. Let's keep it. It's all about, there is zero chance to win the title when you give up 40% from 3-point range. Like that, and so no offense to Monty, you're right. But let's not ignore the defense also.
Right.
Like the defense needs some work too. Yeah.
Yeah. And for what it's worth, I agree 100% with Monty when he says, here's how the offense can get better. And we'll dive into that when we return here. The Drive Guys on a wonderful Friday, coming to you from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
It started with 32 teams back in September with one goal. Now we're down to the final two with a chance to earn the coveted Lombardi Trophy.
It's Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs look to go back-to-back while the San Francisco 49ers seek their 6th Super Bowl title.
Super Bowl 58, Sunday at 3:30 on your home for the NFL, Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com. The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
Got a handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10, 5, touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Capital Casino has been serving the greater Sacramento area in the same convenient downtown location for over 20 years, with plenty of close-by, well-lit parking monitored by security staff and offering the most variety of table games in the region in a safe and friendly environment. Best food, best service, and the best action. That's Capital Casino. For more information on tournaments and gaming, check out their website at capital-casino.com. And please remember to gamble responsibly. 1-800-GAMBLER.
Big savings are back at Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop. Looking to own or lease? We have options for everyone. Plus, lower interest rates at Folsom Lake Honda make for lower payments. It's no wonder Folsom Lake Honda is your one-stop Honda shop.
Get an instant cash offer for your trade at FolsomLakeHonda.com. We'll buy your car whether you buy from us or not.
Visit us today at FolsomLakeHonda.com.
Folsom Lake Honda, yeah, your one-stop Honda shop.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Hagen Oaks is introducing the newly designed Callaway Chrome Tour line of golf balls, offering outstanding tour performance. From cover to core, Chrome Tour is the new gold standard tour ball for players who want the best in distance and feel. Chrome Tour is engineered for outstanding performance with exceptional speed, consistent flight, incredible spin, and greenside control. Ask about the full line of Callaway Chrome Tour golf balls at the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop, the #1 choice for golfers everywhere. Fulton Avenue at Cap City Freeway or online at HagenOaks.com.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hobler Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
Guys, want to lose weight, improve your performance, and increase your drive? Revive Men's Health can help you make it happen with our new cutting-edge weight loss medications like your favorite athletes and celebrities use. They're affordable and available now. And since your testosterone level has a direct impact on your weight and fitness, get a free T-check and free exam. Book your appointment today at Revive Sacramento. We know we can help you. Call 916-277-8599. That's 916-277-8599. Or visit ReviveMen'sHealth.com.
Coming to the venue at Thunder Valley, March 30th. World One presents The Jacksons with Sister Sledge. Tickets available now at the Thunder Valley box office, Ticketmaster.com, and World1Presents.com.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
When the unexpected happens, trust AutoAccident.com. Loyalty and compassion set them apart. They're with you every step of the way. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
This time check is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at KiaVacaville.com.
Live and local, it's the Drive Guys. Watch the show on youtube.com/Sactown Sports 1140.
Or listen on the Sactown Sports app.
What a special Friday. So much to talk about. Glad you're with us here. Kyle Draper and Whitey Gleason from the Golden One Center. And Drapes, it's really too bad you're going to be out of town this weekend because I'm having a couple of parties. One, of course, Super Bowl party. Very pretty intimate gathering here for the Chiefs and the 49ers. The other party may have the two combined, may have separate. The other one's an even bigger blowout. That's going to be, I'm so glad the Kings did not get Kyle Kuzma party. I'm having a major celebration.
You are 100% out on
so
Kuzma.
glad.
What?
So glad.
What?
They don't have that Kyle Kuzma.
Tell me why, please.
I never wanted it. You know, here's a guy that he gets a lot of money and gets a lot of shots in Washington for a terrible team, right?
Yep.
And teams have been asking him, and he says, yeah, I'm good here. Why would you want that guy on your team?
Maybe he doesn't want to badmouth. He doesn't want to be that guy that says, get me out of here.
Maybe, but this isn't like, I'm not talking about an interview.
You mean he's okay with losing?
Yes. I'm talking about teams have looked into it, and apparently that has impacted their interest in him. There was a Mark Stein report on your pregame show where Mark Stein said, I guess, I don't know, was it Mike, Bibby, and Mo? And he says, the Kings are right there with Dallas on Kyle Kuzma. And that was just a couple nights ago.
Yeah.
Then I think it's Sam in the Athletic says the Kings lost interest in Kuzma months ago. And that's the one I believe. Bless him. I hope he's happy. I wish him nothing but the best. But I'm so glad he's not coming here. Party time.
That's black. That's disrespectful.
No, I just don't think
you're celebrating us
I
not
didn't
getting
want him here.
He's some locker room cancer or something like
I
that.
don't think he'd be a good fit. And I think people would be going, some people would be doing somersaults. Oh, we got Kuzma. That's it. He's not the guy.
Why not? Tell me why not.
Because as we've said, he would take shots away from Keegan. He's going to need a lot of shots. He's going to take shots from everybody. Going to disrupt the offense. He's a better rebounder than Harrison Barnes. I'll give him that.
Yep.
He can be a better defender. I don't know.
No, I hear you.
Yeah.
I was out on Kuzma. I was in on him in the off season, but as the season went on, I said, you know what?
Not quite.
Not quite. No,
yeah.
I'm glad. So I hear you. Now I'm not going to celebrate or make it a national holiday or anything like that. But
I'm working
I'm
on
with
the holiday. I can still celebrate. Yeah. Here's an interesting chat comment from Ryan Williams. He says, talking about Monty in the press conference today, he brought up the Nuggets not being a top 10 defense last year. Still won the title. That tells me his focus is offense and defense just an afterthought. I don't know about that, Ryan, but I kind of got the same feeling, and I wasn't entirely comfortable with it.
Well, and here's, what's perplexing to me, because the numbers don't lie. The defense is what it is. The defense is what the numbers indicate. Does he think that's good enough?
Well,
does he think that we have the personnel to be better than we are? It's like, I don't know, Monty. Here we are 50 games in last season. Like, at some point, you got to say, you know what? Our defense isn't good.
Yeah, I wonder if part of it is they tried to address the defense at the deadline. They weren't able to. So at this point, there's no sense bemoaning it. At this point, this is who we have. So this is going to have to be good enough. And technically, he's right. As you said, the numbers are what they are. The defense is better than last year, right?
Yeah.
Not good, but it is better than
better
last year. That's a fact. Statistically.
That's a fact. But, I think we're at a point now with the Kings, and this should be every NBA team. You try to improve both areas.
Sure.
And so I understand Monty saying, well, I don't want to improve the defense and then, at risk of making the offense worse. I get that. But go out there and get two-way guys.
Mm-hmm.
Go out there and get guys who, 3-and-D guys. There's a guy we talked about, Royce O'Neal. Why weren't we in on that? Dorian Finney-Smith. So there were moves, in my opinion, that could have been made that helps your defense, but doesn't necessarily hurt your offense as much, unless teams are wanting Kevin Huerter back, Harrison Barnes, or whoever the player may be. I could see then you're like, well, we got Royce, but we lost Kevin. How does that impact us? And so I could see that. But, there has to be a way of addressing both offense and defense. I mean, look at Denver, and we'll see them tonight. KCP, I never really thought of KCP as a great defender until he got to Denver, really. And now I'm like, oh man, he's a really good defender. I thought him as a 3-point shooter, a shooter out there, And so there has to be guys who are out there. Keegan Murray, for example. Didn't come into this season thinking Keegan would be a great on-ball defender.
Monty talked about his defense a lot tonight.
Right, but he had that ability in him. So who's that 3-point shooter out there that may not be a great defender statistically, but has the ability to become a better defender? That's who we need to go out there and find.
Mm-hmm. By the way, did you watch the Nuggets last night? Because it was a great game.
Yeah, I watched the ending of it.
Yeah, and then the Lakers caught him in the fourth quarter. You see that the home team catches up, and then Denver said good night.
They said, all right, we're gonna pull away now.
Yeah.
We've been toying with you enough. Yeah, I saw like the last 5-6 minutes, and they went on like a 9-0, 10-0 run, whatever it was, and it happened quickly too.
Mm-hmm.
It went from a tie game to like Lakers down by 9 in like a minute.
Yeah, it's like you have no answer for Jokic, and if you do come up with one, it doesn't matter because you have no answer for Jamal Murray either.
Yeah.
So Kings have their hands full tonight, but maybe the Nuggets will be a little road weary.
Yeah, you hope, and maybe the Kings will be a little angry, wanting to atone for what happened a couple of nights ago. But I'll tell you, Jamal Murray, he's got a little bit of a chip on his shoulder. Once again, not making an all-star team. You got to imagine Jokic is going to be up for this one because a lot of people consider Sabonis baby Jokic, and so he might want to dominate this matchup. And so, no, this should be a big game tonight.
Yeah, by the standards that the NBA set out forth this year to determine who are stars and therefore who the rest rules apply to.
Oh, yeah.
I still don't think Jamal Murray qualifies as a star.
Right.
That's so funny.
That's hilarious,
That's
man,
just
because
so
this
wrong.
dude is the second best player on a defending champion Nuggets and still not listed as a star. I'm checking the injury report right here because, Denver, they just filed theirs.
And he did tweak his knee last night.
Yeah. KCP is questionable tonight. Jamal Murray, probable tonight. So that's good or bad, depending on how you want to look at it. Michael Porter Jr., probable also. So it looks like they're going to have, most of their weapons out there tonight when we see them.
See, Michael Porter Jr.'s name still makes me wince a little because the Kings were really high on him, but where they were at that time, they couldn't afford to gamble on a guy that was going to be out with back issues, and you never knew would he ever recover.
What year was that? Who did we wind up taking it?
Oh, a guy by the name of Marvin Bagley.
Oh, that was that year. Oh, yeah. I mean, you're not going to take him at 2 or at, that high top.
They were thinking about it, but then he was hurt.
But then he was hurt. He had the back issue. Yeah, I get it, but man, he'd be nice in the system, wouldn't he? That shooting, come on, that size.
Yeah. Now, speaking of the offense, how about what Monty said today about the offense? He says, someone asked him, I forget who it was, about, how can the offense get better? And he goes, pace. We've talked about that, right?
All season long.
Yes.
We've talked about it. Mike Brown has talked about it, and I just do not get it with this team.
Turn the bleeping Jets on.
Turn the Jets on. I like, and as a player, playing fast is so appealing to me. Like, I don't want to, half court, just be, I want to get it out and run and move and cut and, I just don't understand why this team, and I'm going to pull it up right here. I got the numbers right here as we talk about it. Pace this season, Sacramento, 11th. Not horrible.
Do you know that's actually, you won't believe it, but last year, I believe they were 12th?
7th last year. Oh, no. Let me update that. Sorry about that, Whitey. Yeah, you're right. You're 100.99.
Which doesn't seem like, it's like if you watch the games, like, no, they weren't, but statistically
they were. You're 100% right about that. And, you look at it this year, 100.99 last year, 100.43 this year.
Pace.
So the pace is pretty much the same.
Yeah.
It's pretty, but why does it feel different?
Mm-hmm. There's opportunities that they're not taking.
Yeah.
Just looks like, as Monty pointed out, and we talked about it this week, the Kings are number 1 in the NBA in defensive rebounding percentage.
Yes.
Number 1.
Yeah.
And if you're getting the highest percentage of defensive rebounds, that's opportunities to get out and go. And for some reason, they don't. I don't know if it has to do with Fox's being a little banged up or what it is. Early in the year, do you remember this? There were 2 players. It was Herter and Davion Mitchell. Both of them said, well, it's hard to play at the pace they want when they want us to play defense like they want us. Remember?
I do remember that. I do remember that. Yeah, that's hogwash, right? And I'm looking at the numbers. Last year, this year they're 22nd in fast break points. Last year we were 7th. Big difference.
Yeah. When you pass the ball well and you have one of the fastest players in the league, it just seems like there's opportunities there that are not.
Can I tell you what the problem is?
Please.
And I'm gonna say this. We need to stop looking for Domas to bring the ball up. Like, I love Domas in the rip and run. He gets it and go. But as well as I do, you're taught in grade school, the fastest way to get the ball up the court is by way of the pass, not the dribble. And so I think, and Mike Brown talked about it too many times, a guy will get a rebound and, Domas is calling for it or somebody else is calling for it.
I used to run that drill. I'd have, all right, you girls, you're going to dribble up the floor and this line, you're passing.
Right. And
the dribblers,
it wasn't even close. Right.
They might have won one time. Like they threw it out of bounds. Like, no, but to your point, that's just basic basketball.
And it's not just him. It's everybody. Like, get off the ball. Don't dribble it up. Pass
it's a
it
nice
up.
change of pace. But it's become their fast.
Right. It's become that's like their default.
People are sitting
action.
on that fastball now.
Right. Exactly. That's what they're doing. And so, I just think, as much as we love Domas and everything he brings, sometimes pass the ball ahead. Like, it doesn't have to be a dribble and then the perfect dribble handoff or perfect pass. No, move that thing, get it up. And so I think that's been an issue this season.
Yeah, well, that's one area in which they can improve. Because that's what it is now, right? You can't look to see no one's coming through that door. We know that.
Yes.
Well, who's going to join us? How are we going to get better? So it's how can this group get better starting tonight against a really good team that they're going to play, 3 times in 9 days?
Yeah. Twice on the road at that. Yeah, this is a tough stretch we got here, with Denver and OKC and Phoenix. And, I go back to what I said, February will make or break you. And this is a critical stretch right now for your Kings.
Also, a rather important game on Sunday when we come back, more on the Kings and Nuggets tonight. And the odds makers say the 49ers are favorites. Why are there so many people who disagree with that? Why are there so many coaches who disagree with that? Next year with the Drive, guys, Sactown Sports.
The NFC champion San Francisco 49ers will get their chance at revenge when they face the AFC champion Kansas City Chiefs in Super Bowl 58.
Jimmy going to throw a deep shot into double coverage. It's intercepted by Fuller, and that will be it. The Kansas City Chiefs will win their first Super Bowl.
Reed versus Shanahan. Purdy versus Mahomes. The Chiefs versus the 49ers. It's Super Bowl 58, Sunday, February 11th.
And it's on your home for the National Football League, Sactown Sports.
With NBA League Pass, you get so much game.
Even regular season games?
Yep.
Even some of the in-season tournament?
Mm-hmm.
Can I watch home and away team broadcasts?
Oh, yeah.
Can I watch from my phone while I take a long bath?
Sure.
And if my team wins, can I stand up super fast and splash water everywhere and scream, yes, that's right?
Hey, could we get a normal fan for this commercial? Subscribe at NBA.com/League Pass today. Only select out-of-market games available and local blackout restrictions apply. Additional charges and other conditions may apply. Visit NBA.com/subscriber agreement for full terms and conditions.
Bonneville International Radio Station contests are open to participants at least 18 years of age and older that are residents of California and who reside in one of the 6 counties that make up the Sacramento metro area, unless otherwise specified. Employees or agents of the station, Bonneville International Corporation, other area radio stations, or any entity associated with the contest are not eligible to win, unless the station otherwise specifies in its own discretion. Persons who have won in the last 30 days from a station contest or event may not be eligible. For a copy of the general contest rules, visit khtk.com.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Maida Chevy has 2.9% APR financing on every new 2020 Ford half-ton Silverado in stock.
2.9 for 72 plus great Maida Chevy savings on new Silverado.
Online at MaidaChevy.com. Together, let's try.
finance with finance for GM. Wireless headphones. That'll be $200.
I'll use my Capital One Quicksilver card.
Now that's a hit. You used the Capital One Quicksilver card, which makes you the hero of every purchase. With Quicksilver, you earn unlimited 1.5% cash back on every purchase everywhere.
I wanted running music, but unlimited 1.5% cash back is pretty heroic.
Good instincts. Every hero needs a theme song. The Capital One Quicksilver card. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com for details.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk.
Hey, it's me, your couch. Today's my favorite day of the week, Febreze Fabric Spray Day. The occasional deep cleans are nice, but in between, you know I'm needing a refresh. Ooh, here she comes with the Febreze Fabric Spray. Oh yeah, spritz them armrests. Don't be shy. Nothing like a good spray down to get me smelling so fresh and clean. Don't forget my back. Nice. Febreze Fabric Spray. It's just that easy. Now we can both breathe happy. Febreze. La 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 la.
The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
We're at the Golden One Center this afternoon. Kyle Draper, I know you've made it clear you're pulling for the Chiefs in the Super Bowl Sunday. Okay, fair enough. So I'm wondering if this makes you feel better or worse. Compio on the chat says, I see Debo having an MVP game Sunday. Now, Compio saying that, does that make you feel like, oh no, or do you feel like, well, that's not going to happen?
Right, or Compio is saying that.
And it's not his cousin saying it.
Well, I have no faith in Compio.
But I guess that's really what I'm.
Yeah. I'll go for it. Hopefully, Brock Purdy, Debo, Shannon, all of them are MVPs this week, right? So
he's going to be the MVP of what? What are we talking about? MVP of what?
Debo's probably like if you were to rank 49ers MVP candidates, third,
maybe.
Fourth?
That's why I'm glad you mentioned that, because I've seen in some corners like X Factor. Well, Debo's an X Factor. To me, an X Factor be like Juwan Jennings. Wow.
Right.
How would Debo be an X Factor? He's one of the most dynamic playmakers in the entire league.
Right. It's not, if somehow Debo can have a nice, we expect Debo to be Debo, right?
Yeah.
And usually, we've talked about it yesterday, these Super Bowls come down to a lot of times some of the unknowns making big plays. And so you're right. It could be a Juwan Jennings kind of game. So.
Yeah. Should be fun. Looking forward to that one. I'm with you, Compio. I also see that, and I think you're right. Yeah. So I have faith in Compio. Let me know who Ray Allen's picking too, Compio, if you would. I'm wondering if Ray Allen sees this. This is interesting from The Athletic. They talked to some coaches. As our buddy Mike Sando again talking, and he does this with big NFL games. He talks to coaches and executives, and they're all anonymous. But he's talked. Let's see, we've got defensive coach 1, defensive coordinator 1 and 2, and then offensive coach. So he's asking them, and I just cut to the chase here. What do you like in this game? Defensive coach number 1, quote, I trust the Chiefs a little more. All right. Defensive coordinator number 1, quote, it's just hard to go against Reed and Mahomes.
I've been saying that all year.
Defensive coordinator number 2, I could see San Fran's defense not being dominant against the Chiefs. I don't know if they are a dominant defense like they were with D'Amico Ryans and Robert Saleh. It doesn't feel like they are all that deep down. I'm saying Chiefs. And then finally, offensive coach, quote, I like Kansas City. I want to like San Francisco, but I think in these games, the quarterback matchup is pretty big, and this is a big separation between these guys, Christian McCaffrey and Deebo Samuel. Those two guys could be enough to overcome that, but I don't think so in this game. So there's 4 anonymous coaches, 4 for 4, Chiefs.
And these are people who know the game the best. These are the insiders, guys that have been in the trenches, have probably gone against the Niners and have gone against the Chiefs. And so I don't blame them. It is hard to bet against Reed and Patrick Mahomes. I'm sorry. Take away the fandom. Take away, bang, bang, Niner gang. If I put up on the Jumbotron right here at Golden One Center, put up Brock Purdy and Kyle Shanahan, just their pictures, and Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes, come on, man. It's like, ooh, Andy Reid, Patrick Mahomes, they've been there. They've done that. Arguably, best coach-quarterback combination easily since Belichick Brady. I could go even before that. Jimmy Johnson, Aikman, Walsh and Joe Montana, like that's what kind of level these guys are on right now.
Clearly, these guys all are former players, and their former players have got the bell rung a little few too many times. What you say, though, it changes dramatically. Let's just say somehow, some way, the 49ers win. Then Shanahan and Purdy, by virtue of just having everything go well Sunday, then they are among those guys. They haven't done it yet. They actually haven't had a chance to do it together. So to say they can't do it, well, we'll find out.
Well, you're not a winner until you win. You're not in that category.
Andy Reid's a good example of that.
Andy Reid's a good example of that. And so, I just, when you look at Andy Reid and you look at Patrick Mahomes, like we can talk all we want about the Niners comeback wins this Super. What the Chiefs have done this playoffs, I think is being underreported.
Really?
To go on the road and beat Buffalo, to go on the road and beat Baltimore, like this is the most difficult path to the Super Bowl, and they've taken on arguably Buffalo, the hottest team in the league at the time, Baltimore, the best team in the regular season, and they beat them both. And so I think we might be underplaying.
We might be.
And how good they are.
We might be, but I'll tell you the other side of that very coin, as 49er fans know all too well, because the 49ers have been on that path several times the last couple of years, and with impressive road wins in, Green Bay. Now, they actually never made it all the way to the Super Bowl, but it took a toll. They're leading the NFC Championship game in the fourth quarter. It took a toll on them. Now, the Chiefs, obviously, A, they've been there before. B, they got an extra week. But it's not easy doing what they've done, and it takes a toll on you. And the 49ers, that's one thing we know, they've gotten a ton of rest this postseason.
Have they?
Well, when they had a week off before the playoffs started, 2 games, then you got another week off.
Both their games came down to the final drive. Like the Chiefs, their games, they made it look easy.
Well,
the AFC Championship game.
Yeah, but they didn't cruise. It's not like they were.
They were coasting against Baltimore, though. Like Baltimore was never really in it, in my opinion. Chiefs had control of that game, and so I don't know if their road, like theoretically, the road was hard, but they made it look easy.
I agree with you. I mean, that's a great point.
The Chiefs made it look easier. Like they went in, handled their business. The Niners, meanwhile, Green Bay took them to the end. Detroit took them.
I know.
I
remember.
You saw the game just as well as I do, and so I don't. Like I said, I have no idea what's going to happen. It would not surprise me, but I feel like we're underplaying what the Chiefs have accomplished this postseason, and we're hyping up the Niners' comebacks. They were great comebacks. They were great. Brock Purdy didn't play well first half, played great second half. But I think what the Chiefs have done, they may not be the best team, Whitey, but they're playing the best right now. And that's what matters.
The 49ers, they didn't look good in the first half of the Green Bay game, nor did they look good in the first half of the Detroit game. So it's like, wow, you're worried about that. But you know what? They finally did show in back-to-back must-win games that if they had to come from behind, they can do it.
Yes,
they did it twice.
They have proven to themselves and others and us that, you know what? We can come back.
They needed some help from Dan Campbell. Okay, I get that. I understand.
And Jordan Love is through the worst pass in NFL playoff history. And so I know I come across as a hater, and I accept that. I'm looking at the YouTube chat. I see you out there. The end. Drapes is going to hate till kickoff. Haxo Bar. Drapes been hating since week 1. Mr. Asparagus. What times does the Eagles play Sunday, Drapes?
That's my favorite one.
Eagles play Sunday morning at 3 a.m. when they are dreaming. I see it all. But ultimately, what happens on the field will do the talking. And so, if the Niners get the win, your boy's going to be quiet. Somebody on the text line said, Drapes, if the Niners win, you should change your profile pic to Brock Purdy for a month.
Yeah, I think you should.
I won't do that. But I'll do it for a day. I'll do it for a day. You know what? I'll change my profile pic to me wearing a Brock Purdy jersey. How about that?
For a month.
For like an hour or two. Time out here. Time out.
Yeah.
Our girl Selena is in the building. Hand delivery. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. Is this a healthy meal? Okay.
Thank you.
Specialty meal out here today.
Yeah.
Thank you, Selena.
Yes.
I'll see you later. All right.
Selena, who's going to win the Super Bowl? The Niners. There we go. There we
Bye,
go.
Selena. Bye.
Yeah.
Oh, man. I can't wait for everybody to eat crow.
It's funny that if the Chiefs do win, and as we just said, there's a lot of people that know what they're talking about that say they're going to win. I mean, just think what that does again to Shanahan's reputation and Brock Purdy. A lot of people that have been saying what you've been saying. If the 49ers come up short, for you, it's like, see, I told you all that 49er arrogance, and this guy's not that good, and this coach is overrated.
Can't win the big game.
Yeah.
Shanahan can't win the big game. And I'm going to take Brock Purdy out of the equation. Is that a fair criticism of Shanahan, do you think, if he doesn't get it done?
Sure. I mean, yeah, because he would tell you that's the goal. That's what we are playing for. And this would be, since they lost the Super Bowl that a lot of people thought they should have won, they didn't get back there till this year. And if they come up short this year, it's like, well, now what?
What more do you need to get it? Yeah, exactly.
And if it is the quarterback, it was a bad game, which I don't expect, but just, entertaining the narrative.
There would be
then it's like, well, wait, you're the quarterback guy and you still haven't gotten it right?
Yeah, you're 100% right. You had Trey Lance, you had Jimmy, you handpicked Jimmy, and it didn't work out. Like, you're supposed to be the quarterback guru, and it still didn't work. You're right.
But I think we'll find that he did get it this week. And she's right. Selena is right. Yes. When we come back, more on Monty McNair's media conference today, where the Kings go from here now that they chose not to make a deal at the deadline, as we roll on from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports. It started with 32 teams back in September with one goal. Now we're down to the final two with a chance to earn the coveted Lombardi Trophy.
It's Super Bowl 58 as the Kansas City Chiefs look to go back-to-back while the San Francisco 49ers seek their 6th Super Bowl title.
Super Bowl 58, Sunday at 3:30 on your home for the NFL. Sactown Sports and SactownSports.com.
And I'm David Figueroa. Over 30 years ago, my brother Greg and I set out on a mission to offer the world a better hot sauce.
That's right, David. We made Melinda's thicker, hotter, and better than ordinary hot sauces.
And now we have 32 exciting and delicious sauces that hot sauce fans are obsessed with, like our ghost pepper sauce, our Thai sweet chili, and our best-selling black truffle hot sauce.
Melinda's also has 5 spicy ketchups made with real sugar and no added junk like high fructose corn syrup. People ask David and I, what makes Melinda so good? That's easy. We think like chefs do. Instead of burning someone with hot peppers and vinegar, we use fresh plant-based ingredients and the finest chili peppers perfectly blended to set your mouth on flavor.
Go to melindas.com to find our line of craft condiments at Walmart and other fine retailers. And right now, get 20% off our award-winning sauces with code SPORTS at melindas.com. That's melindas.com. melindas.com.
Hey, I'm Andy. If you don't know me, it's probably because I'm not famous. But I did start a men's grooming company called Harry's. The idea for Harry's came out of a frustrating experience I had buying razor blades. Most brands were overpriced, overdesigned, and out of touch. At Harry's, our approach is simple. Here's our secret. We make sharp, durable blades and sell them at honest prices for as low as $2 each. We care about quality so much that we do some crazy things, like buy a world-class German blade factory. Millions of guys have already made the switch to Harry's, so thank you if you're one of them. And if you're not, we hope you give us a try soon. Harry's is available online and in-store at a retailer near you. Get a $13 trial set for just $3 at harrys.com/news. That's harrys.com/news. Or check us out at your local Costco for a price you can't find anywhere else. Just look for the Chrome Razor with 13 blade refills at your local Costco. You can't miss it. Exclusive to Costco members.
It's Carmichael Day with a Fire Wings announcement. The Floor and Road location now serves pizza, and oh my goodness, it's so good. Don't forget the Wings Day Wednesday lineup, 88-cent wings every Wednesday. You got 21 delicious flavors to choose from and the perfect fast casual eating establishment for the entire family. Save time and order online. Go to firewings.com or download the app. Find a location near you, order online, and earn rewards. Fire Wings, just wing it.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark, as I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
Join Sactown Sports at Twin Peaks for big game action on over 40 screens. And your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see pop icons The Jacksons at Thunder Valley on March 30th. Don't miss it.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento.
Take it on the local level.
Live and local, 6 a.m. to 6 p.m., Monday through Friday.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. Sactown Sports. Sactown Sports.
Oh, what a Friday it is. We got the Super Bowl coming up. We're at the Golden One Center. We got the Kings and the Nuggets tonight. Monty McNair with a press conference today, which we'll dive back into. Kyle Draper, Whitey Gleason. Before we get into Monty once again, I do want to pay attention to the man behind the curtain for just a moment because, you know, Jay has been hanging out in Vegas. Kyle Ledbetter's been helping out. And Jay's not back yet. Kyle Ledbetter has some other things to do. So it's like, what are we going to do? You know, it's like, well, here's what we got. It's like, well, Michael Jordan can't play today. All right, what are we going to do? Don't worry. We got Magic Johnson, right? We got Christopher Laud, who's normally hanging out with the morning show, babysitting Dave. and he's keeping us on track today. So thank you, Christopher Laud.
You're welcome, guys. I think it takes 3 people to cover for Jay Johnson.
Yeah, I appreciate you, man. I thought Whitey was going to call you Pete Myers there for a minute when we were talking about Jordan can't go tonight, but we got Pete Myers here to step in. And so Chris Verlaud, I do feel honored, man, because me and Verlaud used to hang out and work together, you know, when I used to fill in. Now he done graduated to the morning show and forgot about us little guys out there.
Yeah.
I see how it is.
Yeah, you can call Chris Verlaud many things. Do not call him Luca. He's like me.
No. Oh, right.
We're not
You're not Luca,
right,
guys?
Chris?
Oh, absolutely not.
Chris is like, I didn't know I had to talk on your show too. That's gonna be a bonus in my check.
I'm struggling to find my headphones right now.
Oh, all right. I know. It's like, dude, are you with us or not?
I apologize. Real quick though, Chris Verlaud is a big Mahomes fan, but you're not optimistic for Mahomes this weekend, Chris?
I don't know. It just feels like the Niners just keep on finding ways to win, and it just feels like it's going to keep on going through the Super Bowl.
Wow. All right. Thank you, Chris Verlaud. We're thrilled to have you with us today. I'm feeling better and better about things.
I know.
Chris Verlaud knows what he's talking about.
This is a
Calcio
Chiefs
knows
fan.
what he's talking about.
This is a Chiefs fan, though. You know, but that's that reverse psychology that Verlaud is playing with right
mechanism.
now. Yeah, it's sort of like, I'm nervous, so I'm going to just say the Niners are going to win. He's like, Niners been on a roll. Well, the Chiefs have been on a roll. They've had some impressive wins this playoffs. Remember, the Chiefs were, nobody counted on them. In the middle of the season, you got to get rid of their receivers. You need to get some new receivers. The Chiefs look like a juggernaut right now.
They did lose 6 games this year, but that's one thing I learned a couple years ago when the Chiefs played Tampa Bay in the Super Bowl. You can't look at the regular season because remember Tampa Bay that year in the regular season, they're like, well, they're all right.
Yeah.
But in November, they became a different team, and I overlooked that, and I picked the Chiefs in that Super Bowl. Everyone says, I know I mentioned this earlier. People says, oh, I picked against Mahomes once, and I got burned. Well, I picked him once, and I got burned, and I'm not going to do that again. They got rolled in that.
So you're not going to pick them.
I'm not going to pick him. Right. And Andy Reid, you don't pick against them.
Problem is,
I should have picked against them.
You should pick for them this time.
Oh,
because you've been proven wrong all the time. Like, you don't get any of these right. So sort of a reverse jinx. It's like Charles Barkley in the NBA. I guarantee. And they never come correct. That's what we need from you if you're a Niners fan right now.
All right. Well, we'll know soon enough. Today, as we mentioned, as you know, big press conference, Monty McNair meeting with the media to explain why the Kings didn't do anything. Were you satisfied for the most part with his explanation and with and I realize you work for the team.
Right.
There's not a lot.
I hated that. That was awful. Like, what is he talking? Oh, what am I supposed to say to that? I mean, I got to be satisfied with it. It is what it is. As the great Kevin Garnett used to say, it is what it is. And we could sit here and bemoan and cry about it and be like, Monty, you should have did something or that's unacceptable. But the fact is, it is what it is. And ultimately, the proof will be in the pudding.
Mm-hmm.
If they get knocked out first round, if they're a play-in team and lose in the first game of the play-in and they don't even, make the playoffs or something like that, then we can look back and be like, Monty, what are you doing? But if they make the playoffs, win a round, we'll take it. All right move. And so I think, as more information comes in and these games get played, we'll know. I do think this second half of the season with 32 games left to go is extremely important for the Kings because by doing nothing, that signals that you believe you have the team, and he said it, to get something done come playoff time. Now, if you go, with these last 32, you go, 15 and 17 or whatever, or, and you finish 9th in the conference or 8th in the that's an indictment on Monty not doing anything. So I'm gonna sit back and let it play out, Whitey.
Yeah, here's Monty today, and this is about it's a little lengthy, not like what we played before. It's about 2.5 minutes, just so you know. But it's Monty today talking about that Hawks pick involved in the Herder deal and the new luxury tax and how all those things factored into the Kings' decisions and how it affected the market here at the trade deadline. Here's Monty today. Monty, you back here. I was late, man. I was late. Your words, maintain and improve. We see the maintain. Do you see the improvement? And how much did that factor in when you were going into this trade deadline?
Yeah, good callback. I think, like I said, the defense, I do see the improvement, and we've done some really good stuff. I think Keegan in particular has taken a step on that end. But I think we're seeing also, this is, I think, maybe one of the benefits of that continuity, second year with coach and his system. We certainly haven't brought it every night on the defensive end, but overall we've seen our rank improve. We've seen some really good performances. That said, we have not maintained our offense, and that's an issue. We got to get better on that end, because if we had maintained our offense and seen the defensive improvement, we'd be in a much different position. So we know those things. But yeah, I think the improvement has been a positive. Not being able to maintain some other aspects is something that we continue to work on and need to get better at.
And I guess follow up, you guys have, if you make the playoffs, your 2024 gets sent to Atlanta. How much did that play into your mind at this deadline that starting July 1st, you might have 7 first-round picks and sort of your arsenal, your stockpile back?
Yeah, well, it would be 6, because that one would be gone, which would be a good thing. But yeah, we look. I think we've done. Our group has done a good job of using assets when the time comes, but also weighing that against what we can maybe do with them in the future. So, like you say, we'll have a little bit more flexibility with those first round picks, hopefully this summer. That's something we'll continue to pursue. But I think we also those picks, whether they can be in trade, but they can also be to continue to supplement what we hope is, a team that the core is here to go into the second round and further, and then those picks can be used to continue to keep the train rolling, because it's, we know with some of the changes in the CBA and things like that, it's going to be, you got to maintain, your flexibility and ability to do those things because of how hard it is to operate in certain areas of the cap now.
I know that fans get frustrated with explanations that seem like, well, we're keeping an eye on the future, because you can just kick the can down the road.
Right.
We're not doing anything now, but we're maintaining flexibility, and fans get frustrated. Well, when are you going to do something? That said, to me, a small market team hanging on to picks, especially first round picks, that's, as we're seeing at this deadline, that's a safer way to go, because so much of the trade market is out of your control. But if you have a draft pick, you've got a little more control over that. And I think small market teams need their first round picks.
Yeah, I think so. And they need them not only to make the picks, but as trade chips, And I think when you look at the Sacramento Kings team, where they are right now, up until that last loss, I think they had the 10th best record or 9th best record or something like that in the league. You're talking about a pick in the 20s, And so for you, not a whole lot of value. You're not going to maybe get any superstars in that pick, but you could package a couple of those to go out there and get somebody. And, you're not going to get a big name free agent. You're not going to, you're not going to get a top 5 pick anymore. Those days are long gone. And so you hang on to your picks for trade chips. I think that's probably the best way to go. We've seen Monty even last year, this last draft, trade out of the first round. You had a top 25 pick. You moved back. And so I don't know how much they value those draft picks to actually select, but maybe use them as trade chips.
Monty also wants the Kings to be more consistent. How he thinks they can achieve that when we come right back after a quick break here to Drive Guys from the Golden One Center on Sactown Sports.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Road trip! Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas! Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Maida Subaru says yes during the huge President's Day sales event on Now. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to awesome lease offers. Yes to great trade-in values. Yes to huge selection of new and certified pre-owned Subarus in stock ready to go. Outback, Forester, Crosstrek, Ascent, WRX, and more. All with huge Maida Says Yes savings. The President's Day sales event is on. Stop by Maida Subaru today or visit MaidaSubaru.com and click the Unlock Maida Says Yes savings button to unlock your savings on the card you want today. Whatever you choose, you're going to save big during the President's Day sales event on Now at Maida Subaru. Yes to financing as low as 1.9%. Yes to attractive lease offers. Yes to exceptional trade-in values. Yes to great selection. Over 300 new and certified pre-owned Subarus available. The huge President's Day sales event on Now at Maida Subaru. MaidaSubaru.com.
Approved premium credit 1.9 financing on new 2024 Outback.
Made a great deal at Maida. The Drive Guys, live and local, every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Center will be celebrating a Lunar New Year and the Year of the Dragon. Was that kind of a Far East cuisine that you enjoyed? A little bit of a.
I still got it right here. I have not dug in.
Okay.
You know, I had the popcorn for the appetizer, if you will. I'm about to move on to the salad. Oh, they got a plum in here. Oh no, that's an apple. Sorry about that.
Wow,
I just
I sure would have thought it was a plum.
Right? You said no. I mean,
yes.
At like first look, it was like okay, but then I picked it up. I was like, no. So I got
the Moki Bogues of apples.
Right. That thing was tiny, right?
Yeah.
That thing was, and then I got the entree right here. So yeah, I'm progressing here during commercial break.
Yes, as we're progressing through some of the more interesting things that Monty had to say today in his press conference. And I know we've got some listeners with interesting things to say on the chat and on the text line.
Yeah, somebody from the 916. And I don't know if they're coming at me, Whitey, both of us. Why do you guys make excuses? The Kings did nothing at the trade deadline last year, basically nothing during the summer, and now nothing at the latest deadline. So they are 0 for 3 in the last trade seasons. Bottom line, they don't have valuable assets after Fox and Sabonis. They couldn't trade Davion, Harrison, or anyone else. That's from Sam in Elk Grove. He put his name on it.
Good for you, Sam.
What do you make of that?
Well, some of this is we're not trying to make excuses. It's a matter of trying to explain, well, why didn't they do something? And I think you make a great point. In a seller's market, it was tough for the Kings to be competitive when, as you point out, what do you have to offer? Well, Dallas was really active. Dallas wanted some of the same players the Kings did. And you're right. I mean, according to reports, the Kings going way, way back, they were kind of asking teams, what do you think, like Herter, Harrison Barnes, maybe Davion? And teams were not that interested. So that's one of the big reasons why they weren't able to do anything.
Yeah, and you also have to look at the landscape of the NBA and championship teams. Denver, Milwaukee, Golden State. How many of those teams made midseason trades that put them over the top? Not many, I don't think. The Lakers did last year, helped them out, but I maintain the Lakers' road to the Western Conference Finals was kind of soft. Let's keep it real. It was a soft road to the finals for them. And so I will agree with the last text. Trade deadline last year. Off-season trade deadline. Like something has to get done this offseason.
Yeah.
It can't be another running back offseason for the Sacramento Kings team. And I appreciate that text because that shows me the passion of the fan base. I want to hear more of that. You know, like stand on it. Speak your truth.
Yeah.
You know, and hold Monty accountable. Hold Vivek accountable. Hold Mike Brown accountable. That's what we do. We try to bring a championship here to Sacramento. And Mike Brown, the day one he got the job, he spoke about raising the expectation, raising the bar, championships. And to me, that goes for everybody across the board. So I get it. It's been crickets in terms of moves made. But then you also have to look at the moves he did make. And I'm talking about bringing in Sasha, bringing in Chris Duarte. Those have not panned out the way that they were hoping for. So he tried to make moves. Like anytime you bring the EuroLeague MVP, to me, that's a big move. And it just has not panned out. Sasha now coming back from the ankle. It's going to take more time. So it has not panned out, I think, the way that they had designed.
Yeah, before the season started, the Kings had a plan for improving. Obviously, it didn't involve major roster upgrades, as you say. One of the keys to that, according to their plan, was they were going to get better defensively. Have they? Well, it's interesting because Monty trumpeted that today. Like, oh, yeah, the defense is better. Well, the numbers say, yeah, the defense is better than last year. But if you watch the games, you know that defense may be better, but it's still a problem. So how are they going to address that? How are they going to get better? Monty today says one of the things he needs from his Kings at both ends is more consistency.
Yeah, I think if we were more consistent, we would be further up the standings for sure. I think the positive to take from it is for every loss that doesn't feel good, that means we've also had some pretty good wins if we're still on the same pace. I think we're 12-8 against the top 10, these playoff play-in teams in the West. So that's shown that we can do it. But the NBA these days, I mean, it is there are some of the records maybe aren't there for teams, but there's no nights off. We can't take nights off if we want to get what we want to get. And at the same time, we've shown that we can go into some of these on the road in tough places and win. So we know we can reach those heights, which is good to see because those are the teams that are going to be there, hopefully with us in April, May, and June. So it's disappointing, of course, that we can't seem to do it every single night. Last year, I think we did a great job. I think after our initial start to the season, I don't think we lost more than 2 games for the bulk of the year in a row. We were able to ride it. This year we've had maybe some more ups and downs, but it means we've had some ups. If we can continue, like to the question that James asked, we can keep our defense there, offense can improve. Same thing with our record. If we can, bring it a little more consistently, and match those highs, we can contend with those teams that have, kind of separated themselves from us in the standing. That's where we want to get to.
Here's my view.
Yeah.
Basketball, inconsistency and outside shooting, it's part of the game. Obviously, there's less inconsistency at the highest level. Defense is going to be more consistent. A good defensive team, there's going to be more consistency. And to me, that's still the number one reason why these Kings have been up and down, up and down. Okay, overall, maybe the defense is better than last year, but too many times, like we just saw Wednesday, the defense disappears. There is none.
Yeah, you're right. And I'm gonna give you a very interesting stat right here, Whitey, and this might actually blow your mind. When you look at defensive rating for this Sacramento Kings team, right now they are 18th in the association. Last year they were 24th. But their defensive rating, the actual number, is worse than it was a season ago. They were 116.0 defensive rating. This year, 116.4. And so I'm not looking at the ranking as much as the actual rating, because the ranking can be influenced. Maybe other teams' defenses are worse this year. That doesn't impact you. That's not an indictment on you. Your number is tick worse than it was last year. So basically, they're playing the same defense as a season ago, based on the numbers.
Yeah.
And so this notion that they're a better defensive team, I don't know if that's true.
That's a great stat. It doesn't blow my mind.
Yeah.
I follow.
You're like, I watch the games. I see the games.
But it is. Yeah. I didn't know those exact numbers. It's interesting. Here's the thing that I think Monty got away with today without explaining, that I think most fans would like an explanation for. It's how nights again like Wednesday, where it looks like, how come so often this team, it's not just, they have the ups and downs. Oh, they're inconsistent. There are nights when it looks like they're getting pushed around and they look flat and they look like they don't have the energy and the effort needed, especially when coaches say, we didn't have the energy and the effort tonight. That's the type of things like that. How is that happening? Right? I mean, I think that's a fair question.
That's 100% a fair question. And, we can put it on Coach Mike Brown all we want. Coach is supposed to get the guys right. But what about the individuals as well, being professional? Who's the locker room leader? Who's the guy before the game, talking to guys? We got to get this one. Who's the guy when things go sideways during the game, talking to it, trying to hype the team up like, guys, we got to get it done. I'm not in the huddles. I don't know. And so do they have a lack of in-game leadership when it comes to that? Like, there is zero, in what basketball world is it okay for that Detroit Pistons team to shoot 55% from three-point range, hit 17? That Pistons team, that, and I understand, Herter showed a little bit of frustration. Malik showed a little bit. Domas. I need more. Like, I don't need frustration towards the ref.
Right.
I need frustration towards each other.
Yes.
Like, if there's a blown assignment, dude, what are you doing? Like, it's, they have to police themselves, if you will. And I think it, obviously it starts with your leaders. And so Foxy maybe needs to be more vocal. Maybe Domas needs to be more vocal. And so we can't always just put it on the coach.
Yeah. They need to find ways when things aren't going well to start imposing their will on the other team, right? One way or the other.
Right.
When things are not going well. You can't have a shorthanded Pistons team come into your own building, a shorthanded Pistons team that brings 6 wins in and doesn't have close to a full roster, and they shove you around your own gym all night long.
That's probably the worst loss since I've been here. Like, if you lose to Boston, all right, I get it. You get blown out by the Pelicans, okay, have it. But that Detroit team, come on, Whitey, that team in your building?
Right. So we have to see a response tonight, right?
We know
it. They have
You
to know
have
it,
to.
and they have to respond tonight. Won't be easy against a Denver team. We're not saying you got to come out tonight and blow out Denver by 20, but you at least got to bring the edge tonight.
Right. You got to bring your home floor. And I said it a couple of weeks ago, and I maintain this. This thing can go either way. You can galvanize, come together, go on a winning streak like we saw on that road trip when they won 4 in a row going in, with the Atlanta game included. Or you're in danger of losing 4 or 5 in a row, And so, like, this schedule is murderous. This is difficult. And that's not the way you want to go into the All-Star.
4 or 5 in a row. Let's hope it doesn't come to that. But in this Western Conference, 4 or 5 losses in a row.
Yes.
Right?
Big time.
That's torpedo
Big time. And don't look now. The Warriors are playing their best basketball this season, too.
I didn't want to mention it.
I'm just saying, they're starting to get it together. So.
Monty on what he would like to add when we come right back to the Gold One Center Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
The Sacramento Kings play here.
He's got the triple. Sacramento takes the lead. Outstanding ball movement by Sacramento.
Every triple, every jam, every Kings win.
Sabonis with the jam over the Joker. He's got the three-point shot.
Get your Kings fix all season long.
Right here on your home of the Sacramento Kings.
Here's a steal by Fox, a breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Tamara Berg in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Partly sunny conditions expected with light north winds. Highs today in the mid-50s. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA 3 News and the KCRA 3 app.
Don't miss out on New Year's savings at Folsom Lake Kia. Low prices and payments on your favorite new Kia models. Go see my friends at Folsom Lake Kia right here in Sacramento for over 25 years or FolsomLakeKia.com.
With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, banking with Capital One is the easiest decision in the history of decisions. Even easier than choosing Charles Barkley in a pickup game.
We'll take Barkley.
Ha! First pick. Sorry, kids. Yep, even easier than that. With no fees or minimums and no overdraft fees, is it even a decision?
Okay, here's the plan. Pass me the ball every time.
This is banking reimagined. What's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA member FDIC.
Now, during Staples Print Big Sale, get $20 off your print purchase of $100 or more, $50 off your print purchase of $200 or more, and $100 off your print purchase of $300 or more. So the more you print at Staples, the more you save. To demonstrate, print at Staples, you save. But if you print at Staples, you save. See how that works? Staples Print Big Sale. Print more, save more, up to $100. Ends 2/10. Visit staples.com/print for details.
Sacramento's premier music festival, Country in the Park, is back. 2 big old nights, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo, with Brantley Gilbert, Dustin Lynch, Walker Hayes, and more. Plus line dancing, a mechanical bull, and Sacramento's best food trucks. One-day tickets are on sale now, starting at $46, or upgrade your experience with VIP or pit passes. Country in the Park, May 17th and 18th at Cal Expo. For more info, visit CITPFest.com.
Brought to you by Hubble Chrysler Dodge Jeep and Ram Center.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Pilati, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Get in on the action at Sky River Casino in Elk Grove. With over 80 table games, the hottest slot machines, and a thrilling high-limit room, you'll enjoy a casino experience on a whole new level. Visit skyriver.com today. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
I like daffodils, tulips, the big dinner plate dahlias. I loved being in the garden, but I wasn't going to be able to because I couldn't not only walk, but I couldn't really stand on my foot without being in pain. It was excruciating. So my husband said, let's go to the Good Feet store.
For over 20 years, we've helped people like Terry live the life they love without letting their feet get in the way.
This nice young man said, I think I can help you. He got the arch support and I was fitted. And I kept walking back and forth across the store. And I looked at my husband and burst into tears because it was the first time in a year that I have not had any pain in my foot. I have had no pain since the day I bought them. Now I can do whatever I want. There isn't any place on my property that doesn't have flowers blooming 365 days a year. I still can't believe it. My name is Terry, and that's my Good Feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
For sore feet, aching back, knee, or hip pain, come to the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, or Vacaville.
Tune in to Sactown Sports broadcast of the big game this Sunday afternoon between San Francisco and Kansas City. Sponsored by Xfinity. Stream your favorite live sports on the next generation Xfinity 10G network.
The Tribe Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I'll tell you what the Kings' biggest problem is right now. I think this is one thing we can all agree on. But first, before we get to that, Kyle Draper, Kevin Gleason here at the Golden One Center. We appreciate everybody's comments. Even I think it was Sam in Elk Grove kind of coming after us. That's cool. Just thanks for participating and listening. But I don't understand this. Our guy Compio, you take shots at him and you're Compio. I'm glad he says Debo's having a big game because I want the Eagles to win. And you take shots at him and I'm like pumping him up, right? But what he says about me on the chat is I'm glad Whitey's not running the team. What he says about you is Draper 100. Well, come on, Compio. This is the guy that goes way out of his way to take.
Where did he say that about you? Get out of there. He's not coming at.
He said it a couple times.
Well,
Whitey's not running the team. Oh, Drapes 100.
Well, your boy is a man of the people, man. That's what you gotta understand. I'm a man of the people. I'm the voice of the fan right now, and so sorry if your takes aren't as
like Stockholm syndrome or something. Where you go down to him, he's like, oh yeah,
get him, Drapes. He's on my side now. He's on my side. I appreciate that.
Whatever. When you look at what's ailing the Kings right now, how much of it is just the fact that De'Aaron Fox, for whatever reason, is not playing very well?
No, I think that's a big part of it.
Yeah.
But it's not all on De'Aaron, but it is a part, especially, that game the other night against Detroit. And, I'm walking in the building today and somebody was like, man, I just kept waiting for De'Aaron to take over last game and it never happened. And that's what you're seeing this year with De'Aaron. As great of a season as he's having, it's a different impact than it was a season ago. He was Mr. Fourth Quarter. Every close game, it was like he delivered. He came through in the clutch. That's why he won the Clutch Player of the Year award. This year, not so much. And his numbers are down as well. And so I'm not going to put it all on him, but that's a factor. I could argue Keegan Murray's numbers should be better over the last 5-6 games. And so it's interesting because we started off this year, Harrison Barnes struggling a little bit outside the opener. Kevin Herter went through his struggles. And now it seems like it's Fox and Keegan Murray. Like, when are we going to get everybody clicking at the same time? That's what I'm waiting for.
Yeah, the standards are very, very high for Sabonis and Fox. I forget which game it was. It's hard to remember because Sabonis has had so many great games. And after one of them, Mike Brown, after the game, was talking to the media, and he says, that's what he's supposed to do here. I mean, he had a great game. He's had so many, it wasn't like, oh, boy, he's out of this world. He was, but the bottom line from the coaching staff is that's what we need him to do.
Right.
And Fox, the same thing. They need him to be great. That's how this thing works. Is that fair, unfair? It's just the way it is.
Hey, when you're the stars, you're the leader.
Yes.
You got to deliver.
Yes. And I know that it appeared that he got kind of re-injured. I think it was in the Chicago game, and he had a good game against Chicago. Since then, he struggled. So I think there's a reason for it, potentially. And Sam, I'm not making excuses. I'm just trying to understand what's going on. But the thing is, if he's not playing well for whatever reason, it really puts the Kings in a difficult position.
Yeah, and I think, and I said it yesterday, this All-Star break cannot come soon enough. And I think De'Aaron Fox needs the break. We see him, wincing and holding his shoulder, it seems like every game. I think he is banged up a little bit. And so, a week off, I think, will help these guys. Remember, they had 3 days off, 3 days in between games. And then they went on that tear. Remember, they had the home game against Atlanta, and then they won, 4 in a row. They were looking good. And so I think we're at a point now where this team needs a break. It needs some time off to gear up for the stretch run. And so, there's still, the goals are still within reach. You go on a 5-6 game winning streak, you go from 7 back up to 5, not even that. You go on a 3-game winning streak, you could be right back up there. And so it is concerning. And we want our guys to play at the highest level every single game. And that includes De'Aaron Fox. But I think, his struggles, yes, that hurts the team. That's part of the reason why this team has been so inconsistent. If De'Aaron Fox is delivering at a high level night in and night out, we know what Sabonis is going to do. We know either Malik, Kevin, HP, Keegan, somebody else, and so to your point, when you are an all-NBA performer, when you are an all-star, the face of the franchise, you're not allowed to have off nights. As unfair as that may sound, you're not allowed to have off nights.
And I think he understands that. That's just the way it's set up. But now that the deadline is gone, help ain't coming. Brad Miller ain't coming through that door. Actually, he might come through that door.
Yeah, he might.
He'll be here, but he won't.
He might stumble down the steps.
I've seen him on that elevator right there, actually. But this is what concerns me. I mentioned this earlier this week. Remember the Giants at the deadline? If anybody remembers baseball or cares about baseball anymore, and they thought they were in good shape, and they didn't do anything at the deadline. And then after that, it's like, whoops! Oh, we're not as good as we thought. And it just scares me to think that this Kings team could be facing that kind of predicament. I hope not, but it just worries me.
Yeah, and one thing that Monty said earlier concerns me a little bit. He said, we're on the same pace as last season. And I said this before the year. Last season's effort is not going to get it done this year. You got to be better than you were last season. And we're seeing that. 48 wins ain't going to get it done. 48 wins might get you a 6 seed, might get you a 7 seed. You don't know because everybody else is better now. The West is stronger now. And so last year, it was all sunshine and rainbows, but this year is totally different. I mean, like I said, it's not whatever you did last year. If you come back and think you got the same formula, the test is different. The questions are harder. It's not going to take the same effort. You got to be better. And I think that's what we're seeing right now.
I really think Monty knows that better than we do. And I think part of today was just trying to frame what is positive about this year, shining a light on that because there has been so much negativity. Hey, let's not forget the things we're doing well. As far as the roster, here's Monty today on what he would like to at some point add to this roster. We'll get to that in just a moment here.
I would say the biggest thing for us, for sure, I think if we can add size and length, that can make sense for our team. At the same time, we have to balance that with what we know has worked for us offensively, and we know you need shooting and spacing in this league, and so we can't sacrifice too much of something like that, for instance, to add that. So, it's trying to really find two-way guys that can play on offense, guys that can play on defense, and I think Mike's done a great job getting the most out of guys on both ends and getting guys there. But we just don't want to solve one problem by kind of pulling our finger out of another problem. So we got to find guys that can fit into what Jay and Mike and the offense are trying to do, while at the same time, we got to find guys that can match up with these guys, up and down the West. So, I don't want to get too much into the rumors and all that was out there. We were active. We were trying to see what was out there. If there was something that we thought could improve us for a price we're willing to pay, of course we'll do that. At the same time, we've seen, I mentioned Keegan, internal growth on that size and length thing. I mean, Keegan's guarded some really impressive players and done, I think, a great job. HB obviously draws the tough assignment a lot of times. Trey Lyles has guarded some of the big power forwards that you got to go against. So we have guys that can do it. And I think we've seen that on the defensive end, but we don't want to just solve one problem by hurting somewhere else.
So that's something at least we can take and use as a kind of a measuring stick in the offseason when, once again, the Kings are able to be in acquisition mode, the type of player that they're looking for.
Right. And that's 100% what they need. They need some length, especially on the perimeter. And so
that might be why they didn't go after Royce O'Neal. I didn't mean to interrupt you there, but he doesn't have a lot of length.
What is he? 6'7"?
I think he's like 6'4".
Is he 6'4"? Oh my gosh. Yeah. And then maybe that's not the kind of guy you want. But yeah, they need a 6'7", 6'8", 6'9", 6'9" guy. We got Trey Lyles and that's about it. Sasha, but he's not a defensive presence as much. And so, I mentioned it, Xavier Tillman would have been a nice little pickup, I think, just add some toughness, some grit, solid rebounder. And so as Ron Adams, and I bring this up about once every 3 weeks, great Warriors.
It's worth it.
Coach.
Yeah.
He says every team is looking for 3-and-D guys, two-way players. The problem is they're hard to come by. And that's what we're seeing with Sacramento right now. They are hard to come by. They're hard to acquire. And so, if they have their first round draft pick, this year, it might convey to Atlanta probably. But if they do have that pick, I would like to see them get a wing player, a 3-and-D kind of guy, because even in the free agent market, go out there and get somebody, because I think that's where we talk about our defense and the way it struggles. We don't have positional length. We don't have perimeter length out there to shrink the floor.
Yeah, Ron Adams says everybody's looking for 3-and-D guys. The way I say it, you can use this on your telecast.
Let me write this down.
The wings is the things.
Wings is things. Wings is the thing.
You're not going to use it.
No, I'm not. I just not at all. If Ron Adams would have said, I probably would have. But
yeah.
Yeah.
All right. When we come back, we'll turn our attention back to the Super Bowl. It's not easy, but it is simple how to beat the freaking Kansas City Chiefs.
Okay.
Next year with the Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
When accidents turn life upside down, AutoAccident.com is in your corner. Compassionate advice, loyal support, and the courage to fight for you. AutoAccident.com. That's AutoAccident.com.
We love the game because anything can happen. There's no sure thing.
How did that go in?
Every play, every shot,
Are you kidding me?
every swing is a risk if you bet.
I can't believe that just happened.
There's no easy money, There's no luck, and no one wins all the time. If you bet, bet responsibly, and always set a limit. Learn more at responsibleplay.org.
With RT Painting, our name says it all. We are a reliable and trusted commercial and residential painting company serving the Sacramento area since 1998. Employee-owned, our attention to detail is second to none. Put our decades of experience serving our community to use for you. Get a free quote today. Call us at 916-900-8112. That's 916-900-8112. Or go online to rtpainting.com. That's rtpainting.com. RT Painting, your trusted and reliable painting contractor of choice.
Getting your biggest tax refund from Jackson Hewitt can lead to some spirited reactions.
Jackson Hewitt!
Jackson Hewitt is so sure that you'll get your biggest refund that if they don't, you get your money back plus $100.
Jackson Hewitt!
And Jackson Hewitt also guarantees the accuracy of your return for life. So don't just sit there. For your biggest refund guaranteed, walk into a Jackson Hewitt today and dance out Jackson Hewitt!
For the ones who get it done, the most important part is the one you need now. And the best partner is the one who can deliver. That's why millions of maintenance and repair pros trust Grainger, because we have professional grade supplies for every industry, even hard to find products. And we have same day pickup and next day delivery on most orders. But most importantly, we have an unwavering commitment to help keep you up and running. Call, click Grainger.com, or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Folsom Lake Ford has trucks. The F-150s are here. Explorers, Expeditions, and a huge selection of Broncos and Bronco Sports. They're in stock now at Folsom Lake Ford. Shop Folsom Lake Ford, your truck headquarters, right here in Sacramento for your favorite Ford models at good, fair prices. Short on cash? Buy any new Ford with zero down. Save big with low interest finance rates. Plus, Folsom Lake Ford is paying top dollar for all trades. We want your vehicle regardless of mileage or condition. This could be the best time to buy a new Ford. Check out the huge inventory online at FolsomLakeFord.com or stop by the dealership and see the most recent arrivals. Looking for something special? Give them a call and tell them Doug Christie sent you. Folsom Lake Ford in the Folsom Auto Mall, your trusted dealer, my trusted dealer for over 30 years. FolsomLakeFord.com.
Zero down with approved credit.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave. I got good news. The American Energy Heat and Air $0 HVAC diagnostic has been extended to February 29th. That's right. It expired at the end of January, but want to give you all an opportunity who missed out to get in. It's a $99 value. All right, it's $100, and right now it's free. I don't know how much easier I can pitch that. Normally $100, now $0. Let the American Energy team test your system, your connections, and all the moving parts of that system to make sure it's functioning properly. And you know who's going to be coming to your home? A group of people that have an A+ rating with the Better Business Bureau. A group of folks that have been making the greater Sacramento area proud since 1981. $0 HVAC diagnostic. Normally a $100 value right now at American Energy Heat and Air. Go to AmericanEnergyAir.com or call them to make your appointment. 916-520-9990.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
The Drive Guys, live and local. Every afternoon, Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
And it is Rise time. We appreciate your listening. We want to show you our appreciation by giving you a chance to win here. Pull up, park, and ski. It is that easy at Sierra at Tahoe. Sactown Sports has teamed up with Sierra at Tahoe this winter. All you have to do is hit up the Folsom Lake Honda hotline right now, looking for caller number 4 to win a pair of lift tickets to experience Sierra at Tahoe this winter. Terms and conditions apply. For more information, visit SactownSports.com. So good luck and thank you very much. We're coming to you from the Golden One Center. We're getting kind of a preview of some of the entertainment we'll have tonight for the Lunar New Year celebration. So Gung Hei Fa Choi, I think. I think I said that right.
Did you say that right? Okay.
I think so. The Year of the Dragon, and hopefully the beginning of new and better things for the Kings. At least now they know who's here and who's not. Unforeseen injuries notwithstanding, the rest of the way.
Right now is the stretch run. You got the All-Star break, and then it really, you come back from the All-Star break, you got fewer than 30 games left to go. But you're right. Your team. This is who it is. We know the shortcomings, and now it's up to the group inside that locker room to fix it, especially defensively. I mentioned earlier, the Kings' defensive numbers are pretty much the same this year as last year. Their ranking's a little better, but, in terms of the defense that they play for 48 minutes, it's pretty much the same. And I could argue it's worse because they give up the three a lot more than they did a season ago. And so that's concerning. And so now's the time to correct it. Obviously, Denver, it's going to be a tough matchup. Denver's playing their best basketball of the season right now. Jamal Murray, Jokic, I mean, they're a complete team. But, if you want to be considered one of the better teams in the West, these are the games, especially coming off Detroit, you should win.
Yes. Now, wouldn't you think that pushing the pace tonight, Monty said today he'd like to see the Kings push pace more, that would be a good idea against a Denver team that doesn't have, the center, one of the best players in the league, perhaps the best player in the world. He's not fleet of foot, and they played last night.
Yeah, he's not, sprinting down the floor, outrunning guys. And no, you're right. And they had a tough matchup last night against the Lakers. And, if I'm a player, I'm chomping at the bit to get back out on the floor after what happened the other night. Like, just the competitive juices should be taking over for this Sacramento team. And so, one thing I'm watching for tonight, it's not the start of the game, Whitey, because I do think this team will come out inspired, fired up. Remember, they did that against Detroit. They came out and started off well. But can they sustain it? Like, if I'm Denver, I'm thinking, all right, let's just survive their first punch. And then, things will settle down. It'll just be basketball. Can the Kings respond when Denver goes on their 8-0 run or whatever that's going to happen? I'm looking for that in the third quarter, in the fourth quarter, not necessarily the first quarter.
Do you feel like sometimes when the three is not falling for the Kings, they kind of get into a rut and it's almost like they don't have any plan B other than to keep shooting the three until it goes in?
Yeah, and not only that, Whitey, but also it becomes like they look lost almost, kind of like, all right,
I agree.
They took away, our bread and butter. Now what do we do? It's you see it in the movement or lack thereof with this team. And so, Denver's a solid team. I think they're 10th in defense this year coming into this game. And so this is going to be a challenge tonight. And, one thing I want to see from the Kings is that, and you mentioned this time and time again, it's not about what the other team does. It's about who you are and what you do. And so don't let Denver dictate what you do out there in offense. Keep moving, keep trusting it. Don't go 1-on-5, and so that's what I'm looking for tonight.
And how about on Sunday, the Super Bowl? There's a lot of people now turning.
Are we still talking about that?
We're still talking about the Super Bowl. Hopefully we'll be talking about it a lot on Monday as well, but we'll see how that goes. You're going to be here, right? Either way, we know that you're going to
on Monday.
Yeah.
Yes. I will be a part of the show on Monday. What?
Part of the show. Leave that door open. I'll call in.
Right. Yeah. We're flying from OKC to Phoenix right? on Monday, but I think we land at like 11:30, 12 Phoenix time. So should be, enough time to hustle over to the hotel, get my setup, put on my Mahomes jersey or my Eagles jersey, and join the show.
Yeah, boy. Good luck wearing your Eagles jersey after a 49er win. I would like to see that, but be that as it may. There is a way to beat the Kansas City Chiefs. The closer we get to the game, the more and more talk about you can't beat Mahomes. Mahomes is unbeatable. He and Andy Reid, they're the best ever. And I know that they're defending champions. They're going for their third Super Bowl together.
Super Bowl, yeah.
But there is a way to beat the Chiefs. And I think you look at how teams have had success against Chiefs, and there's no reason why the 49ers can't do this as well. The Buffalo Bills had two of the most successful offensive outputs against the Chiefs defense this season. And the commonality between the two games, and I know Chiefs actually won one of the games, but the Bills dominated time of possession. 36 minutes, 12 seconds on average. They ran the ball successfully, and their quarterback ran the ball, and they limited turnovers. The Raiders also delivered a very surprising loss to the Chiefs this year. And what did they do? They ran the ball. Aiden O'Connell did not complete a single pass after the first quarter for the Raiders, and the Raiders still won. They defended very well, and their run game was very consistent. So I don't know. Do you think the 49ers are a team capable of chewing up clock, running the ball successfully, and defending well and limiting turnovers?
I think they do have that capability.
Yeah.
For sure. I mean, they can play the ball possession game, the time of clock game. When you have a brilliant running back like CMC, their only issue is they might be too good of an offense. You know what I mean? Like, if guys are open, what are you going to tell them to do? Just drop down, right? Just go down. Don't score so soon, right? But that might be their only issue. But I think they do have the ability to eat up some clock. Will they do that from a coaching standpoint? You know what I mean? Will Kyle Shanahan trust the run CMC 25 games, look for a ground and pound game? I don't know if that's, in their nature. We haven't seen it historic, but they do have that capability, I feel.
Don't you think if you're Steve Spagnuolo, you're going to look at that? I'm sure he's done this. You're going to go back to that Ravens game where Brock Purdy threw, 4 interceptions?
Yep.
Some of them weren't his fault. Well, none of them were his fault. Actually, he's never thrown an interception.
Okay, you always got to have
You're going to look at that, right? Like, why did
he
he look so baffled? Why did he look so confused? And give him different looks, and whatever the Ravens did that was successful, I think he's probably going to see some of that, maybe a lot of that, against the Chiefs this week.
And one thing I've seen from Brock Purdy, and I don't want this to come across as hate, and I'm going to ask you about this, and you tell me if you agree. He has a lot of balls batted down.
More than you'd like.
More than
last 2 weeks seems like early in the game, especially.
Yeah, early in the game, especially. And so I wonder if Spagnuolo,
bam,
if that's something, that they saw on film that they might, hey, make sure you get your hands up.
Yeah.
Get your hands in those passing lanes. And so that's something to keep an eye on. I mean, that's the thing about the NFL. There's so much tape, so much film that these guys have uncovered everything. They've dissected Brock Purdy, every inch of every part of his body and what he likes, what he doesn't like. And so there will be no stone unturned on either side, whether it's the Chiefs or the Niners.
Yeah. And by the way, I said Chandler Jones, pardon me, Chris Jones.
Chris Jones.
Chris Jones he's like Matumbo out there.
Yeah. But, the Chiefs are banged up, too, on both lines, too. So they got some injuries, and I wonder how much that will play in it. But,
the Chiefs' offensive line stinks, and 49ers' defensive front is one of the most highly paid fronts in football. 49ers have to win there.
Is that but let me ask you, Whitey, because we talk so much about this Niners defensive front. Is it one-dimensional, though? Is it just it should be a really good pass defense? Like, is there a run defense?
Look,
last year they were number 2 in rushing, I think
they
it was?
They haven't even been one-dimensional enough.
Yeah.
I mean, they've got some pressure, but it would almost be an improvement if, at least they're getting the quarterback.
Right.
They haven't really been doing that.
Outside of Bosa, a handful of times here and there.
I mean, they have to have the problem stopping the run figured out. They've had weeks here, and it's plain as day what was going on. So they have to be better in that regard, but they have to win the matchups up front, and they have to put pressure on Mahomes, or they're going to lose.
You're 100% right, man. Maybe Emil Foroso, who's always sunshine and rainbows when it comes to the Niners, despite being an Oakland Raiders fan, will shed some light on this.
You look forward to this all week.
Yeah. About to go to the dentist, actually, get a root canal instead of
Emil Foroso joins us with his Super Bowl preview live from Vegas. Next, Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
The NFL's leading rusher plays here.
The handoff to McCaffrey, walks in the end zone. Handoff to McCaffrey, takes it right down to the goal line. He does his thing again. McCaffrey goes in motion right. Backwards pass led by Juszczyk. A block there. Hurdles a man. 10-5. Touchdown! CMC!
You can hear all of Christian McCaffrey's touchdowns on your home for 49ers football. Sactown Sports.
Football's biggest game day is almost here. Total Wine is your place for all your game day needs. With the lowest prices for over 30 years, you'll find what you love and love what you find. Only at Total Wine and More. Drink responsibly. Be 21.
Brand new year filled with limitless possibilities at Kia of Vacaville. Prepare yourself for an extraordinary driving adventure as we present our impressive 2024 vehicle lineup. Step into the future with state-of-the-art technology, groundbreaking features, and the sleek design that has become synonymous with Kia. Immerse yourself in the dynamic performance of the all-new Kia Sportage, where captivating design meets exhilarating power. Experience the fuel efficiency of the Kia Niro, a hybrid marvel that extends your journey with every mile. Indulge in the sophistication of the Kia Telluride, seamlessly blending luxury and versatility. Don't overlook our eco-friendly Kia hybrid options, ideal for those who prioritize efficiency without sacrificing style. If you're in search of the EV9, Kia of Vacaville has it in stock or available for delivery. Visit Kia of Vacaville today and cruise into 2024 with confidence and style. Kia of Vacaville, where innovation meets the road. Elevate your drive, elevate your year. Model availability and features may vary. Please see the dealership for details.
Golf to Go is brought to you by the Hagen Oaks Golf Super Shop. Here's Frank LaRosa.
Titleist is introducing the next generation of AVX golf balls. It's for players looking for low-flying, low-spinning golf balls with a very soft feel and excellent greenside control. Re-engineered from core to cover with exceptional distance and extraordinary feel, the new AVX is even better. It's available in white and high optic yellow. Titleist also is introducing the new Tour Soft golf balls. A new larger core increases distance off the tee while providing an incredible soft feel on every shot. Golfers who tee up Tour Soft are looking for soft feel and performance throughout the bag. Play it in white, high optic yellow, or green. True Feel is the softest Titleist ball, offering penetrating ball flight and distance from a unique spherically tiled dimple design. It's for players who prioritize soft feel and trust the quality and consistency of the Titleist brand. Another reason why Titleist is the #1 ball in golf. That's your Golf to Go. I'm Frank LaRosa.
I'm Craig Ashton of the injury law firm of Ashton and Price. Whether you've been injured on a bicycle, as a pedestrian in a slip and fall, auto, Uber, Lyft, or big rig accident, you need Ashton and Price in your corner. When you call Ashton and Price, there's no chatbot telling you to hit 3 for accounting. You're greeted by a real live person who will immediately transfer you to an experienced attorney. The consultation's free, and there's never a fee until you win.
Remember, for the best advice, don't think twice. Call Ashton and Price.
Join Sactown Sports at Twin Peaks for big game action on over 40 screens. And your chance to win a 4-pack of tickets to see pop icons The Jacksons at Thunder Valley on March 30th. Don't miss it.
The world has changed a lot these last few years. You can do pretty much anything from your home, including order your new Honda from Northern California's #1 Honda dealer, Stockton Honda. Check out our great selection at StocktonHonda.com or come in today and get pre-approved all in the blink of an eye. Stockton Honda makes buying a car simple and stress-free.
Anytime, anywhere, it's all here. StocktonHonda.com.
This segment is brought to you by Kia of Vacaville. Check them out at KiaVacaville.com.
KHTKAM Sacramento, KYMX HD2 Sacramento. From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios, your flagship station for the Beam Team.
Can we light the beam? Light the beam, baby.
Sactown Sports. Your afternoon home for Kings talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Golden One Center, where some of the Denver Nuggets younger players are working out on the floor. But yeah, we have Kings talk and so much more, especially when it's Super Bowl weekend. So it's time to head out to Vegas. And now brought to you by Timber Creek. And by the way, Timber Creek wants to remind you that your 2024 golf season is right around the corner. Timber Creek has everything you need to get back into your swing, including a brand new practice facility. Here he is, our Sactown Sports 49er insider, Emil Foroso. Emil, are you ready for this game?
Well, hello, boys. How are you doing? I am absolutely ready for this game. It is going to be a slobber knocker out here in Vegas. Just taking in the last few days and finally kind of relaxing here on a Friday, going to Saturday to calm before the storm, because once Sunday hits, it's game day, and it is go, go, go for the Niners.
Emil, before you went to Vegas, I sensed the excitement. You were so fired up. What's been the best part of this week for you so far?
You know, for me, it's been being a part of the media group. You know, at such a young age of 23 years old, you know, I did never imagine coming out of school I'd be already here at this position in my life. And just to hear at Radio Row as I'm walking around right now looking at everybody and all the setups, it's really a blessing to just be here. So that's what I'm incredibly excited for. And just to be in and out with the players and experience my first Super Bowl. Yes, it's been chaotic. Yes, it's been hectic. Yes, I'm exhausted. But it's all for love, and I just appreciate everything here. So that's what I've really taken away, and just an appreciation for where I'm at right now.
All right, Emil, and we appreciate you being with us. Mahomes has an edge over Purdy. I think we all know that, perhaps a sizable one. How did the 49ers make up for that?
You know, I really think it's getting after Mahomes. It's really getting after Mahomes. It's how he can make up for it. Yes, they have more talent on offense, but they can't just go bar for bar after Mahomes. Because we've seen that. We saw it last year with Philadelphia. When you go bar for bar against Patrick Mahomes, typically you lose. So how do you stop Patrick Mahomes? Well, you got to get after. You got to get after Patrick Mahomes. So Tampa Bay did in that Super Bowl. They got after him, forced him out of the pocket. And they might have gotten the booze well because all-pro left guard Joe Tooney has officially been ruled out for Super Bowl Sunday. He will not be there for the Chiefs. They're missing him. And that's going to be really key for guys like Eric Armstead, Javon Hargrave to get after Patrick Mahomes. So that's the key for them is the defense has to get after Mahomes. Otherwise, it's going to be a long, long way.
Hey, Emil, we apologize. We're not getting your signal that clearly. If you have a chance, maybe you could try on another device, but it's really you're breaking up to the point where I don't think we'll be able to get through the chat. So if you want to try again, if you have another means to do so, why don't you do that? But otherwise, I don't think we can get through this the way, or we're having an issue with the static. Okay.
Okay, sounds good. I'll call back.
All right,
call
thank you
back.
very much.
Okay.
Yeah. Emil Foroso.
Sound like he was underwater at the Luxor Hotel, in the pool.
He may have been. I wouldn't put it past him. It's like, those guys won't care.
Yeah.
So we'll get another try, but we'll see, because obviously that's just you're in your car wherever. It's tough to listen to. We'll make it as easy.
That's the first thing I do. As soon as it starts, I can't take this.
Right,
I'm out of here.
right, yeah.
So I hear you on that.
We recognize as a listener, you deserve better than that. So we'll do our best to bring it that. Let's see if we have a better connection. Hello, Emil. Rise guys to Emil. Ride guys to Emil. Pardon me. What do you got?
Hi, guys. Can you hear me now?
I think it's a little better.
Yeah, a little better.
So.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Thank you, Emil.
Yeah, no problem.
Yeah. So who needs this Super Bowl more, Brock Purdy or Kyle Shanahan?
Kyle Shanahan. That's 100% what has to happen. Kyle Shanahan needs this Super Bowl. He needs to get this done because this is the best Shanahan McNair's had. And just talking with Kyle this week, talking about obviously his father's legacy, Mike, going into multiple Super Bowls. He really isn't focused on that. He just focused on going into this game and calling the plays the right way, having no regrets is kind of the key thing he said, because in the past against Philadelphia last year and the championship game against other teams, even Detroit and the Green Bay game, there have been some mistakes with play calling. He's got a little too cute with it. So he's really focused on just living in the moment and getting this done. But it kind of has to get done right now and right then, because then the questions keep rising up. Is Kyle Shanahan the right guy for the 49ers to take him all the way? Because this would be another Super Bowl, 2 Super Bowl losses as head coach of the 49ers.
All right.
Thanks, I'm sorry.
We got to let you go.
Appreciate it. We got to let you go. Not your fault. Nobody's fault. Just a connection. Yeah.
No,
Thank
because
you, Emil.
it's our
Have a good
guy.
time.
He got his boots on the ground. He's been at the practices. He's talked to the players. I was looking forward to that. No, seriously, I can't. I'm trying to be.
That's like a flopping foul. Right.
Christopher Lyon saying one more shot. I'll tell you what. If Emil's connection is bad right now, I'm going to call somebody in corporate and get this dude a new phone plan, because like in 2024, cell service should not be this bad. Emil, you got us right now?
I can hear you guys. Can you hear me?
Yes.
See that? Oh, you got those first generation AirPods. That's what that was, huh?
Maybe that's what it is. Okay. Yeah, I got
You
to
sound
my
100
AirPod
times
plan.
better.
You feel better now, Drapes?
I do. I feel worse actually for him though, because it was his equipment, his AirPods. He got the iPhone 5 version of the AirPods. All right, man. I'm glad to have you here, Emil. Let's dive into this matchup. Whitey asked you who needs this one more, Shanahan or Purdy? That's a pertinent question, because I feel like they're both under pressure, but for different reasons. I think it's Shanahan. I think Purdy, despite all the naysayers, people like me, he's a young quarterback. He got there. He's a good quarterback. I don't think Sunday will be an indictment of him. but it could be an indictment of Shanahan. What do you think about that?
You know, Drapes, for the first time in a long time, I'm going to have to agree with you. It's definitely and it's definitely bigger for Kyle Shanahan than Brock Purdy. Look, Brock Purdy is in his second year. Yes, he was an MVP front runner at one point, but he's only 24 years old. He's got a long career ahead of him still. Kyle Shanahan, meanwhile, this is his second Super Bowl with the 49ers. He kind of has to get it done right now. And, you know, obviously there's that big factor of, can he live up to his father's legacy? Can he be just like Mike? Well, frankly, Kyle's more focused on just kind of doing his own thing, doing right by the 49ers, going into this game with no regrets. That's the real key to Kyle Shanahan here. But, again, he has to get done now because this is the 49ers' best chance to win a Super Bowl here in Las Vegas.
You know, Emil, this morning I was listening to the Jason Ross show with Dave Wiglin, and they had Papa on, and Greg Papa says it's going to be 21-21, and it's going to come down to a long field goal try at the end of the game by Jake Moody. Do you think, let's say, 45 yards plus to win the game, if it comes to that, does Money Moody convert for the Niners?
Well, they better. That's $1 million question, right? They better hope he converts because the last two games, he hasn't. He has missed one in each game, but he's also rebounded in both those games and made field goals after that, especially in suboptimal conditions against the Green Bay Packers. Look, it was a huge risk to draft not only a kicker, but a kicker in the third round last April. And now here we are in the Super Bowl talking about, can the rookie kicker get it done? Jake Moody, by the way, played in the Shrine Bowl his last year in Michigan and was a perfect, I believe, 4 for 4 in that Shrine Bowl. So I do think that Jake Moody will get it done. I think he does better in indoor stadiums. But then again, it comes down to, if a game on the line, 23-17, they got to cut to 3 with 6 minutes left. Can Moody convert for 45 yards? That remains to be the question because we've seen him miss those kicks. So he is a major factor going into this game.
Wait, did you say, well, he was 4 for 4 in the
Shrine Bowl? Where's that at? Mobile, Alabama? Where is that at the Shrine Bowl?
It was here at Allegiant Stadium.
Okay. Right. Oh, so he kicked 4 for 4 in that building. Okay. All right. See, Whitey, cut him some slack, dude.
What? The Shrine Bowl. All right. You're right. That's why he's the expert. Yeah.
Emil, I got a question. Who's guarding Kelsey? Who do you throw on Kelsey?
You know, it's going to be interesting. You can throw, obviously, your slot cornerback, Isaiah Oliver, guys like Diamador Lenore, but I really see guys like Drake Greenlaw, Fred Warner guarding that tight end position. I think they're going to really make an emphasis to take out Kelsey and kind of have Patrick Mahomes beat him with everyone else around him. And, yes, he can do that, but it definitely hurts their abilities because Travis Kelsey is his go-to guy. And even though Kelsey hasn't been the same this season as he has in years past, he's still Travis freaking Kelsey. So that's going to be the big key for them, Fred Warner. I think Fred Warner and Drake Greenlaw can both do it and do it at a very high level. It's just going to be key to see how they game plan because they know they're going to do that. They know Seawolf's going to want to have him covered all the time. So maybe the Chiefs use that against the 49ers and kind of have that screen pass game as well.
Emil, let me ask you this. The 49ers will win if blank. How would you fill in the blank? Obviously, if this good move blank.
Right.
I know. But, I mean, if they get to Mahomes, if the front gets to Mahomes, or if they run the ball well and keep Mahomes on the sideline, or, if they convert turnovers, or if Brock Purdy has a great game. 49ers win this game if what, Emil? How would you fill in that blank?
The 49ers win this football game if they play 49ers football. And that means controlling the line of scrimmage, controlling the time of possession, and getting out to an early lead. The 49ers are key at getting out to an early lead. Not only that, winning the halftime lap. They're very important to do that. They have to, get the ball back in the second half and try and lap the Chiefs. They can do that and have a 10-point lead going minute through the third quarter. They'll be in good shape. I do not like this Niners team if they get down early and they have to rally back. That's what they did against the Packers and the Lions. It's not going to work the same against the Chiefs because Patrick Mahomes is a much better quarterback than Jordan Love and Jared Goff, and much better at finding the holes and the spots in the Niners defense. And let's not forget, the Niners just played the Chiefs last season, Week 7, and they got their butts kicked, 44 to 23. That was a whooping, and that was Patrick Mahomes finding plays and making things happen. So they cannot allow Patrick Mahomes, 1, to have all the time in the world, and 2, they cannot allow him to control the game. They have to take it to Mahomes. 3 points aren't going to get it done. You got to get 7. You got to get that touchdown, especially early on.
How come when I say the same things, I'm a hater, anti-Niners, I'm pro whoever they're facing? Emil says, I've been saying the same thing all week, Emil, same thing you've been saying. And, when I look at Kyle Shanahan, and we talked a little bit ago about him, what's the most important thing that he must stay away from, if you will, because a lot has been made about his play calling over the years. What's the one thing that he must stay away from as a play caller?
That's a tough question because there are a few things he has to stay away from. But frankly, what he has to stay away from is pass to set the run. He should run to set the pass. The Niners are so good at running the football, set the play action. He needs to take the pressure off of Brock Purdy. He cannot allow Brock Purdy to get out 5-6 straight passes to open the game, because we saw it against a good defense in Baltimore on Christmas night where he threw 4 interceptions because he was throwing the football too much. The Chiefs are the number 7 DVOA defense in the NFL this year, and they just held Baltimore to 7 points. Now, they have to let Christian McCaffrey get going. If Christian McCaffrey has over 100 yards rushing, I feel much better about their game plan. I feel much better about the scripted plays they're going to run, because it's a balanced attack. Because when McCaffrey gets going, when Elijah Mitchell gets going, even Jordan Mason, everything else opens up, including the play action, with the Niners are one of the best at in the NFL.
All right, Emil. I'm sure you're having a great time there. Hopefully Sunday will be it'll be an unforgettable day, obviously, no matter what happens. But what is Emil Foroso's prediction score-wise for the Super Bowl, 49ers and Chiefs?
Oh, that's $1 million question, ain't it?
Well, he acts like he didn't know I was going to ask.
Right, exactly.
I know.
He hasn't thought about this before. Like, you're stumping him here.
Look, Draper's going to do a victory lap right now. I'm picking the Chiefs. I'm picking the Chiefs to win this game.
You know what? I respect you, Emil, because you're not pandering to the crowd, the listeners, the fan base. You're telling us your honest opinion and thoughts. Tell me why. What you got?
Look, Patrick Mahomes is the ultimate boogeyman. He is the final boss in the NFL for a reason. And every single time the Niners have played the Chiefs, they've lost this game. They do not beat the Chiefs, right? And Patrick Mahomes has been surrounded by probably his worst supporting cast in the last 4 years. And yet here they are in the Super Bowl. They've gotten hot at the right time. They are the hotter team going into the Super Bowl. And if it comes down to a one possession or like a 3-point game late in the game, I just trust Patrick Mahomes to get it done more so than Kyle Shanahan and Brock Purdy. It's just the reality, because we've seen it over and over again. And that's where we're at right now with this Niners team is that they have to get ahead. They cannot get behind. If they get behind, Mahomes is going to light them up.
First of all, anyone who picks the Chiefs to win the Super Bowl under any circumstances cannot claim to be a Raider fan. So that's it.
What do you mean? I'm an unbiased journalist. What do you mean?
Exactly.
Yeah.
I'm rubbing off on this guy over here. I love it, Emil. I love it, man.
How about a score? What's your prediction for a score, Emil?
Yeah, I'm picking a 31-23 Chiefs. And I think it's going to be a very close game, but I think the Chiefs pull away in the end.
All right. Thank you for your time. Thanks for getting your audio straightened out. We appreciate it. Have fun, and we'll talk to you soon.
Talk to you guys after the Super Bowl. Have a good one.
You too. Emil Foroso, again, brought to you by Timber Creek. I know you've been out to Timber Creek.
I have played a couple of weeks ago. One of my favorite places. Great shape right now. Fairways, greens, everything's solid out there.
Emil has been spending way too much time at the bars there, obviously, and the casinos.
Right.
What is he even talking about?
My man is unbiased journalism. I love it.
Yeah. What's the score going to be? Boy, that's a good question.
Man, I hadn't thought about who's going to win this game. You know?
When we come right back, the NFL's greatest comeback ever goes unrewarded. Drive Guys from Golden One Center, Sactown Sports.
The San Francisco 49ers, the Kansas City Chiefs. It's Super Bowl 58, live from Las Vegas, Sunday, February 11th on Sactown Sports.
RC Willey has everything for your home, including furniture, mattresses, appliances, electronics, and flooring. With our vast selection, it's easy to find items that fit your style and your budget. We also offer a variety of finance options, including 0 down and 0 interest for 18 months. Whether you're looking to establish new credit or ready to make your space more cozy, we can help. With our flexible finance options, you can easily update your home one piece or one room at a time. Plus, we have a low price guarantee. Let us help you make your home your way at RC Willey.
Toyota's President's Day sales event is on. Now is your chance to save big with the best deals of the year on legendary Toyota trucks. Don't miss out. Right now, get $750 cash back on the powerful 2024 Tundra, or see your dealer for details on the all-new redesigned 2024 Tacoma. Hurry in for these President's Day deals and more. Get to your Toyota dealer today. Toyota, let's go places. Offer available through TFS to buyers with premium-ready credit. Excludes TRD Pro and 3424.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas.
Road trip!
Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Folsom Lake Kia.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear to partly cloudy through the night tonight, with overnight lows in the upper 30s. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
The new year is here at Folsom Lake Kia. Shop my favorite dealer, Folsom Lake Kia, for low interest rates, low payments with zero down deals with approved credit. Folsom Lake Kia for over 25 years right here in Sacramento.
The sewer system. It's probably the last thing on your mind, and that's okay. Because at the Sacramento Area Sewer District, it's our first priority. As the region's largest sewer utility, we own and maintain thousands of miles of sewer pipe. And our job is to get to your sewer problem before it interrupts your life. So whether you've got a slow drain or a backup, call us first, day or night. The Sacramento Area Sewer District. It's a dirty job, but we're happy to do it.
The Arnold Law Firm has seen how an injury can turn anyone's life upside down. Whether it's a slip and fall, a car accident, or any other kind of injury. For almost 50 years, the Arnold Law Firm has been here to help you through the entire process to protect you and your family. If you are ever injured or in an accident, call the Arnold Law Firm. The Arnold Law Firm, providing real justice for you since 1975. Call 916-777-7777. That's 916-777-7777.
Some days I cover up because of my moderate to severe plaque psoriasis. Now I'm hitting the road with clearer skin thanks to Skyrizi, Risankizumab Rizep, a prescription-only 150 milligram injection for adults who are candidates for systemic or phototherapy. With Skyrizi, 3 out of 4 people achieved 90% clearer skin at 4 months. And Skyrizi is just 4 doses a year after 2 starter doses. Don't use if allergic to Skyrizi. Serious allergic reactions and an increased risk of infections or a lower ability to fight them may occur. Before treatment, your doctor should check for infection and tuberculosis. Tell your doctor if you have an infection or symptoms such as fever, sweats, chills, muscle aches, or cough, or if you plan to or recently received a vaccine. Thanks to Skyrizi, there's nothing on my skin, and that means everything. Ask your doctor today about Skyrizi, the #1 dermatologist-prescribed biologic in psoriasis, and visit skyrizi.com or call 1-866-SKY-RIZZI to learn more.
For a precision-crafted performance, the decision is easy. A new Acura from Acura of Stockton. Get the driving experience you've been waiting for in a new Acura. Get the best selection and customer service you deserve from Acura of Stockton. Shop in person or use our online express store at AcuraofStockton.com. Acura of Stockton will buy your trade, even if you don't buy from us. Don't settle for less than precision-crafted performance of a new Acura from Acura of Stockton and AcuraofStockton.com.
Timmy, everybody. Great job. Next up, we have Samantha.
10 times better performance can make a big difference. Castrol Edge Motor Oil gives your engine 10 times better high-temperature performance. Castrol Edge, better oil for maximum performance. Now through March 4th, get 5 quarts of Castrol Edge or Edge High Mileage Full Synthetic and an oil filter for $36.99, only at AutoZone.
Claim based on Sequence 3H test versus API SP test limits.
If you're looking for a new couch, you could cut down on expenses by bundling your car and renter's insurance with Progressive. Because you know you've had this couch for too long. Sure, you've had good times together, but a ripped-up cushion is not a fond memory. It's a sign. Notice how other people have couches with 2 armrests? Now that's living, right? No, it's just normal. So bundle your renters and car insurance with Progressive and put the savings toward a new couch. Please, it's time. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company. Coverage provided and serviced by affiliates and third-party insurers. Not available in all states.
Plantar fasciitis feels like pointed, sharp pain, very intense. Can make your eyes water. It makes you walk funny because you're trying to get pressure off your heel. I had instability. I was so frustrated. I didn't know what to do. And I was driving past the Good Feet store. I mean, why not? Give it a try.
For over 20 years, we've been helping people like Teresa.
actually live the life they love without their feet getting in the way.
They wanted to make sure they fitted me with the right thing. And so they brought out several different arch supports and gave me the opportunity to try them in shoes and walk around with them until they found the perfect ones for my feet. I had no idea that they would be that patient, and I had no idea they would be that kind. And you just knew, like, your feet, just when they got on the right ones, they were like, oh yeah. And it really did make a big difference. It made my foot not hurt. I'm Teresa, and that's my good feet story.
See what we can do for you with a free personalized arch support fitting at the Good Feet store.
Visit the Good Feet store in Sacramento, Roseville, and Vacaville.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
I don't think I've seen this all year, Kyle Draper, Golden One Center. Some of the younger Nuggets are playing, and usually they come out, do some drills, and the Kings players will come out and do that as well. But they're actually, I guess, with some coaches, they're playing 3-on-3.
Yeah, and usually,
unusual.
Usually what that is a guy maybe banged up or something, and they want to get him some cardio, some rehab. Yeah, guy probably not going to play tonight, to get him sweating a little bit. So yeah.
It's much more entertaining than seeing them do all their,
just the regular.
Things.
Yeah.
Speaking of the Super Bowl here, putting your bias aside, if you could, for a moment, your Eagles bias. Let's say NASA comes to you and they say, hey, look, we're going to send this satellite into space, and it's like a time capsule. We want to show some alien civilization, whoever gets this. We want part of this time capsule to be, this is what the Super Bowl is. So we want to send them video, whatever it is, video disc of the best Super Bowl game to give whoever sees this, these aliens, the idea of this is what the Super Bowl is all about. Which game? And again, I know you're going to go right to Philly, but and I get, all right, if you really think that about what game would you send them? Because to me,
that's a good one.
Yeah, to me, it would be that Arizona Cardinals, Pittsburgh Steelers Super Bowl, and the halftime show would be Prince.
Okay, okay, that was a great game. That was a great game.
That was not the same. I know that he wasn't halftime.
No, he wasn't there.
Separate. The great halftime would be Prince.
Halftime show, I'm going to go with, it'll be some recency bias just because I can't remember, way back in the day, I was a Beyonce.
A lot of them were kind of forgettable.
Yeah, exactly. I'm a Beyonce guy. I like, Dre and Eminem.
Beyonce, you're going Beyonce, Chris Martin, and who was the third?
Who was the third?
Anyway, that was the one in San Francisco.
That was San Francisco.
Yeah.
Shoot, that was that one. Yeah. So I'm going that. And as for the game, it would probably be Patriots Falcons. No, Patriots Seahawks.
Oh,
Malcolm Butler interception. Yeah. That would probably be up there for me. That was a classic.
Yeah, because in the last couple of minutes, not only the interception, but also there's a great catch on that.
Yeah.
There's a number of plays.
Right. The Seahawks, they got this. And then they didn't. Yeah. So that was a great game.
Yeah.
Yeah. So probably that one.
I think the thing I remember about that game, I said, I think, because I'm not positive it was this game, but I think it was, that was one of the years where there was so much focus on concussions and concussion protocol. And Julian Edelman, remember in that game, he got bell rung.
He got
play on. He's good.
Right. If it wasn't the Super Bowl, he would not have been out there. I remember that. I was like, they're letting this dude's back in there. He's playing like
in the regular season. Somebody taps somebody. It's like
Lieutenant over there.
And this was, you didn't know where he was. Like, that's all right.
Oh, that's funny. That is funny. Yeah. You know what, Whitey? I know I'm biased, and I know I talk a lot of smack. But ultimately, what I want is a good game. Like, that's all I care about is a good game,
Yeah.
And so if we got a good game, I'm all for that.
And that Eagles-Patriots Super Bowl, I was rooting hard for the Eagles. That was an amazing Super Bowl.
Oh, yeah.
Nick Foles.
That was a great game. Yes.
So, lots of ways to go on that one. But that Steelers, remember, it was Harrison with the interception where at the end of the half, Arizona's about to score, and he intercepts a Warner pass and takes it 99 yards.
And they were
Santonio Holmes with that one of the greatest catches ever.
Yeah, that was a great one. And, I could talk Patriots Giants too. Any one of those,
Yeah.
Tyree and Plaxico. And, what they were able to accomplish, the upset, underdogs coming in there and getting the win. So, yeah, it's been some great ones.
Yes.
There's been some duds, too. But, for the most part, especially recently, there's been some good football games.
Yeah, I'm old enough to remember the early days. It was traditionally a blowout.
Yes.
Lately, it's a great game. By the way, Bruno Mars is the guy we were trying to think of, right?
Yes,
Was it
Bruno
Chris
Mars.
Martin,
Yeah.
Beyonce and
Bruno Mars. Yep.
Yeah, in San Francisco. They had the NFL awards last night, and I'm just going to read this from Pro Football Talk because I couldn't do it any better, couldn't say any better. Quote, Bill's safety, Damar Hamlin, came back from the dead, but that wasn't enough to win him the NFL's comeback player of the year.
Unbelievable. He came back from the dead. That's unbelievable, right?
Yes. And he got the most first-place votes.
He got the most first-place votes.
He was beaten out by Joe Flacco because 8 voters left Hamlin completely off the ballot.
That is crazy.
Yeah, Hamlin got 21 first place votes, 140 points. Joe Flacco, 13 first place votes, 151 total points. Flacco said after the season, he said, I would vote for Hamlin because I'm not sure what I'm coming back from.
Right. It's just, I think that, but you said like 8 people left him off the list.
Yeah.
Like they just clearly forgot about him, right? Or something.
Yes. I mean, Baker Mayfield was 3rd, Matthew Stafford 4th, Tua was 5th, Breece Hall. So it goes way down there. And then there's some people, 8 people that didn't have him on the list. But I'm sure you were happy because, and this was no surprise, Brock Purdy did not win the MVP award. He didn't even come in 2nd. Or 3rd.
He didn't even come in first on his own team.
Right.
Which I said, and so I thought I thought they got it right with Lamar. Lamar was the MVP. I probably would have had CMC maybe ahead of a Josh Allen or somebody like that. But like you said earlier, it's a quarterback award. CMC got the Offensive Player of the Year award, well deserved. It's a quarterback award. But let me ask you this. When you look at the voting and where it shook out, were you surprised Brock was that low?
A little bit I was, if I'm being honest. I mean, I tried to say, oh, yeah, well, I get it. But when I first saw it, I was like, whoa.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What was he, 5? Yeah. Because you had
4th, but I'd have to double check.
Because I think you had Lamar, you had Allen, Dak, CMC, and then Brock, I think it was.
Yeah, I guess it's that narrative, one of the things that you've been saying, which is, no, Josh Allen was 5th.
Oh, Josh Allen was 5th? Okay.
Yeah, but it's people saying, yeah, Brock Purdy just really benefited from the system. I will say this, and I don't have an issue with it, but let's keep in mind, Christian McCaffrey benefited greatly from A, the scheme, and B, the fact that he had Trent Williams and Kyle Juszczyk blocking for him. So we have to.
He benefited, but don't take away from
greatly.
CS. Don't do that to CMC, Whitey.
I'm doing
He
the
was
same
a
thing
stud
with
before he came, though. Brock Purdy was Mr. Irrelevant when he came. CMC was a stud before he came to San Francisco. So don't tell me he benefited greatly. Like he wouldn't have had this kind of season.
He had his best year.
He was already good, though.
Yes, he was.
Don't do that, Whitey.
No.
Don't try to use my argument for Brock Purdy for CMC.
I'm merely pointing out that to say it's over now because we know the MVP is, but Brock Purdy system quarterback got those great players and that, but McCaffrey. He single-handedly scored all those touchdowns.
You taking away from CMC. I you know what? If I'm a Niners fan, I would be upset with you at that.
Why?
Because you're taking away CMC's talent.
I'm giving credit to the best player on the team, which is Trent Williams, like Lincoln Kennedy told us.
Trent Williams. But then Brock Purdy benefited from Trent Williams too, right?
No question.
Okay.
He absolutely did. By the way, Kyle Shanahan says he is not concerned about your narratives, all this talk about the Super Bowl narrative. And Kyle Shanahan lost the Super Bowl as a coordinator in Atlanta. They should have won. And he had a lead as the head coach, San Francisco, against the Chiefs. They should have won. He says, I don't care about any of that. People could say what they want to say. Yeah, which, I would say that too. But right? I mean, whether people talk about it or not, it's eating them up.
Oh, yeah, for sure. 100%. And it should be. I mean, this is a chance now for him to, erase all those doubters.
Yeah.
Shut up all those doubters. Because what are you going to say if they go out there and get it done
Mhm.
this weekend. Like, and that's what scares me, though, if I'm being honest, if I'm being personal about this whole situation. Niners are already insufferable. Like, Debo, fan base. Can you imagine if they actually won something? How they would be? You're not good.
I'm sorry, what?
Like, this is a franchise, a great, proud franchise, but they haven't won anything, and they're so insufferable. Imagine if they actually win it. And I know Niners fans, you would love it. You would have all off season, but my gosh, that would be torture almost.
Kyle Shanahan said, I just don't want regrets. I just want to do everything that makes sense to myself, that makes sense for our team. And when you do that, and that's what I have found, no matter how hard something is or good something is, you always keep perspective of what it really is. That's great, but he's a football coach, and you know there are times when that's not what he's thinking. It's like, we lost the game, right? The football coach.
Right.
That's the way they're wired.
That's how they are. And so, when you look at Detroit and Dan Campbell,
who did not win Coach of the Year, by the way.
Oh, yeah. No, and he shouldn't have. Stefanski, I thought, did a hell of a job.
Kevin Stefanski, or as NFL Twitter called him, Steven. Congratulations, Steven Stefanski.
Steven's right. But, when you look at Dan Campbell, he has to have regrets. Like, you may say that publicly, but when you lay your head down at night, you have to have regrets about the way you handle. And so to Kyle Shanahan's point, I don't want to have regrets. Well, there you go. Like, that's how I tell my son that. My son has his last basketball game tonight. It's about to tip off. And I told him, don't have any regrets. Lay it all on the line, because you don't want to be looking back. And we know as well as there's no guarantee that you get back to this point also. And so you got to take advantage of it when you can. And that's this Sunday.
Yeah, I remember reading Dean Smith's book, the great North Carolina coach. He said he had to learn as a coach something called the power of powerlessness, which he said it's, and I guess his sister was a devout Christian, and she kind of taught him the ethos, the idea that you have to know there's some things you cannot control.
You can't control.
You just got it. You can't worry about it.
Right.
You just got to, all right, you do everything you can as a coach, but there's some things, the bounce of the ball, whatever, an injury, you got to understand that there's a lot of things you have no control over, and you have to accept that.
Yeah.
Which is true in life too.
You're right. As much as, we want to control things, I know that personally in my personal life, some things are just meant to be. And so I think when you look at athletics, especially, like, as long as you give your best effort, as long as you try your hardest, and that's one thing we talk about with Domantas Sabonis too, Whitey.
Yeah.
Like, I've talked to him after games. It's like, Domas, where does that come from? He's like, I don't want to have any regrets when I'm done playing. I want to know that, when I hang them up, I had the best career I could. I had I played my hardest. And I think it's the same for football too. I mean, there's going to be mistakes throughout the game, right? It might be an interception. It might be a fumble. It might be a holding penalty or something like that. And, that's going to happen. You're going to have some of those regrets. But in terms of effort and scheme and everything, like, this is the Super Bowl. You lay it all on the line out there today.
But why is it? I know you've talked to a lot of athletes over the years and coaches, and I'm sure you found this to be the case as well. You could talk to some theoretical coach who won 8 championships in 9 years, but you ask that coach, hey, what do you remember? They're going to go, oh, that one.
That one. Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
That's the way those guys,
right,
and women too, are wired.
Yeah. And when you
it's
look
kind
at
of sad.
Yeah, like, I would look at a guy like Tom Brady. The 7 that he won are great, but the 3 that he lost probably still haunts him. You know? It's just the way we're wired. It's like you can hit a million game winners, but that one you miss that could have won it all, that's the one that's going to hurt and you remember.
Yeah, I think people that aren't wired that way, they get one and they're like, I'm good, right? I won.
I'm good.
Yeah.
And I think that's why it's, I marvel at Andy Reid and Patrick Mahomes because to have the hunger and the drive to make it back there.
Hunger is not an issue for Andy Reid.
No, oh, shoot. Taking shots at my guy now. But, like, I used to always, say when I looked at this is the Lakers in the late 2009 and 10 when they won back-to-back championships. Like you come back and you don't have that same hunger after you win your first,
Right.
but they were able to. Same thing with the Warriors dynasty. The fact that they were still remain hungry, poor, hungry, and driven.
Right.
I thought that was, that's impressive.
Don't you think it'd be very cool? I know you don't want the Niners to win.
Yeah.
And I know you dread what the Niners and Niner fans will be like if they win the Super Bowl. But just think for Kyle Shanahan, for him, if they win and he and his dad, like, Dad, we both won Super Bowl.
Think about that.
Yeah.
That's pretty cool.
Yeah.
I'm not going to hate on that. That, if your dad does something, because, a lot of times you want to follow in your dad's footsteps.
Mm-hmm.
You want to measure up to your dad. And when they're sitting at home in 10 years, 20 years, whatever, they can reminisce, and talk about each winning Super Bowl. It's like, I can't hate on that. Not at all.
Yeah.
Not at all.
So good luck to Kyle Shanahan. Good luck to Andy Reid. And it was just not too long ago that people looked at Andy Reid the way they look at Kyle Shanahan now. Like, well, he's a good coach, but, at some point you got to win.
You got to win one, right? You got to get one.
Yeah, yeah. All right, we have Mike Bibby coming up top of the hour. When we come right back here, we had to talk about this because Kyle wanted to talk about it. And he turns out he's not the only one talking about it. Do the 49ers complain too much? You want to get into that a little bit?
Of course. Like I've been waiting a day or two for that.
Because
my guy Ross Tucker said that. Yes.
Let's
do it.
Here. Drive guys. And we'll tell you what the 49ers are unhappy about now on Sactown Sports next.
You never know what you might hear when listening to a Sacramento Kings game.
Out of Keegan, going for another triple. Man, is he feeling it. Keegan, can he do it? Yes, there's number 11, Keegan Murray. Keegan steps back. He just knocked down his 12th three-pointer, a Kings franchise record. He's got 45 points.
Never miss a moment of Sacramento Kings basketball with Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Sacramento weather is brought to you by Bonnie.
I'm Mark Finan in the KCRA 3 Weather Center. Skies will stay mainly clear to partly cloudy through the night tonight, with overnight lows in the upper 30s. Tomorrow will be mostly sunny with highs near 60. Get the latest forecast on the KCRA News and the KCRA 3 app.
Imagine taking a nice warm bath in your shower. Let's fix that. Right now, get that clogged drain unclogged for just $67. Plumbing, sewer, electric, heating, and air. Bonnie.com. Some restrictions apply. License 696-355.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. As I try and feel around for a seat. Here we go. Oh, who moved the couch?
Get storm-ready Wi-Fi only from Xfinity, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the power goes out. Restrictions apply. Limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. Learn more at xfinity.com/stormready.
It's no secret to golf enthusiasts that Timber Creek and Sierra Pines in Roseville are one of the region's most unique and scenic places to enjoy a great game of golf. 27 holes, boundless options. Elevate your game on our newly renovated driving range, putting green, and chipping area. Whether you're aiming for fun, lower scores, or all-around growth, we've got you covered. Experience golfing dreams in Roseville and book your tee time at timbercreekgc.com. Timber Creek and Sierra Pines, your ultimate golf haven.
It was 1879 when the first President's Day was established, and it's been a holiday ever since. Hi, this is Frank LaRosa with a word about Naturewood Home Furnishings. I'm guessing when the Keys family opened the first Naturewood Home Furnishing store in 1948, a President's Day sale was not top of the mind. But the family probably celebrated the holiday with a picnic and a big slice of cherry pie. The store name Naturewood was selected to reflect the quality of the wood furniture for sale. And that focus on quality continues today with brands like FlexSteel, Trailway, Stickley, Fusion Designs, Stanton, and many, many more. The Naturewood Home Furnishings President's Day sale is the perfect time for you to find the right accent piece for your living room, a new bed for your bedroom, or to completely refurnish your entire home. See all the fine furniture and accessories on sale with Naturewood's President's Day sale. Find that perfect piece of furniture that's new today and filled with memories for tomorrow. Naturewood Home Furnishings, off Highway 50 at Hazel. Look for the water wheel.
Power Business Technology is proud to be 100% independent, locally owned, and managed Toshiba copier dealer. Local ownership cuts out the red tape, allowing ourselves to never be too busy to personally answer the call when our clients need us. Recognized for excellence in service execution, training, and customer service, we're proud to be named a 2022 Toshiba ProMasters Elite Dealer. Contact us today for all of your business printing needs at 844-POWER-BZ. That's 844-769-3729, or visit us at powercopiers.com.
Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Kyle Draper here for Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Now, I took the half-hour drive to Mercedes-Benz of Stockton, and I came home with the finest car I've ever owned. I'm rocking that brand new EQS SUV they outfitted me with, and it's stylish and so comfortable. I love Mercedes cars. Also, Mercedes builds amazing commercial vehicles. Now, if you own a business, Mercedes builds commercial vans capable of any job. And with special interest rates as low as 4.9% on new Sprinter vans, plus the available tax breaks on Sprinter vans for commercial use, choosing a Mercedes van is a smart move. Mercedes-Benz of Stockton has a huge full-service commercial fleet center. Go see my good friends at Mercedes-Benz of Stockton. Just a half-hour drive down I-5 from Sac, and it's online all the time at mbofstockton.com. That's mbofstockton.com.
Sactown Sports Road Trip to Vegas to cover the big game is brought to you by Jiffy Lube, your place to take your car before your next road trip.
Metro!
One center. It's the Kings and the Nuggets tonight. Nuggets last night with an impressive victory over the Lakers in Los Angeles because they had a lead, as you may have seen on national TV, and then the Lakers caught them, and the crypt was going crazy, and then Jamal Murray and Jokic just decided, all right, that's enough. Night. I think they ended up winning that game by 8. So hopefully, from the Kings standpoint, hopefully the Nuggets may be a little road weary tonight. By the way, as we're looking at the Kings working out here, some of the younger players, Drapes, if I told you we had a guy at Stockton and he's averaging down at Stockton at 5 games, 36 minutes, 18 points a game, 53% from the floor, 35% on his threes, would you like to maybe see him play?
Yeah,
up here?
Sign him up.
Colby Jones. That's what Colby Jones is doing. I think I would like to see.
Remember? I'm not even going to go back there. I'm not.
Go ahead.
At the beginning of the season, there has to be minutes for Colby Jones. This guy needs to be in the rotation. He needs to be playing.
I would like to see
Colby Jones in a minute.
No.
Yeah. Mop up duty. That's about it.
It's funny because I was watching him and I was thinking, well, maybe he's not playing well in G League. And I looked it up. It's like, no, he's pretty well.
Pretty solid. Yeah.
Yeah. And I understand they seem to have the rotation figured out. Now look at him from 3.
Your boy out there getting in some work, huh?
Yeah. But, as the Kings look for ways to improve second half of the season, look for more consistency on those nights when it's like, man, nothing's happening.
Right.
I don't know.
Throw him out there. Yeah. Some energy, some effort, a guy that's hungry.
Yeah.
But, he's so far down the depth chart now because remember, Keon Ellis, we haven't even seen Keon get any minutes lately. So, Mike Brown's trusting Davion. And Davion played well the other night against Detroit. He's one of the few guys that can hang their heads high and say, you know what, I brought it. I played well.
He gauds people.
Yes.
He actually brings a little.
Say that again?
He gauds people.
That sounds like you from New England or so. Yeah. Is there an R in there?
Marcus Smart.
Oh, man.
Right? So we need to see more of that.
Yeah.
Colby Jones, you know how we are as fans. Like, well, that guy's not playing. He needs to play. Backup quarterback's always the most popular player on the team. But given how some of the Kings' efforts have been so flat, I think on some of those nights you could do worse than put Colby Jones in there.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And what about this theory here, too? If De'Aaron Fox is banged up, give him a night off.
Yes.
You know what I mean? Give him a game or two off, and then we can see some Keon, some Colby Jones, something like that, I know De'Aaron wants to play. I know, if he's good enough to play, he plays. But should we ascribe to load management a little bit, just a little bit, because Monty talked about it earlier about, medical staff has done a great job. We've had great health, but
Maybe if the guy can't make a free throw because his shoulder hurts that much,
he should have a nice
all his free throws the last game. Then I got to say, hey, you know what? We got a big road trip coming up. Take a night off. I don't know.
No, you're right. Yeah. You're 100% right.
I'm not a doctor, but my mom used to work at a hospital.
And here's the thing about load management. Like sometimes you got to do it in the short term for the benefit of the long term.
Yeah.
And that's what we're talking about with De'Aaron Fox.
Yeah.
Take a step back now. Maybe you lose. I don't know. But if this, makes him stronger down the stretch and you get more wins instead of him limping out there with a bum shoulder, I don't know how bad it is. I imagine if De'Aaron couldn't go, he'd say, I can't go. But, he might need a day off. That's why this All-Star break can't come soon enough.
Yeah. Now, real quick, I want to touch on something in all fairness to Drapes because, he does take a lot of grief for his bizarre takes on the Niners. But there's a guy that I have a lot of respect for, as I have for Kyle Draper, who is also saying, now this is also a Philly guy. So
my guy.
Yeah. Ross Tucker. Ross Tucker years ago used to be on with us all the time here on this station. Wonderful guy. Used to play in the NFL, CBS sports analyst. He was on San Francisco station with a couple of my friends with the Steiny Guru and the great Lo Neal. And here's what Ross Tucker said yesterday. He said, the 49ers could be a really likable team if they would just stop complaining all the time. And then he went on to say, first of all you heard from any Niner all off season, every Niner player or fan, was the only reason they lost to the Eagles was because both quarterbacks got hurt. And then the next thing we have last week, they asked Nick Bosa his impression of the Chiefs offensive line, and he was like, they hold
a lot.
But these are all true. Then they asked Jed York what he remembers from the Super Bowl. I remember Nick Bosa being held. They're always whining and complaining about something. Then he goes on to point out that this week, what do we have? The practice field.
Yep. 100%. Hey, tell me the lie that he's saying.
He says, it's the Super Bowl. You're barely practicing anyway. They're doing like a walkthrough. Give me a break. And today, now they have the fire alarm pulled. The Thursday alarm pull. That changes everything. At least now they have their built-in excuse. Wow.
Oh, Ross Tucker.
You Eagle
coming
fans
with the heat.
Eagle fans are having a hard time with this.
Tell me where the lie is. Tell me where I haven't heard the Chiefs complain about one thing. Have you heard the Chiefs complain about anything?
Chiefs aren't complaining about anything, but the Philadelphia Eagle fans don't shut up.
You can't just say, you know what, Ross Tucker, he's onto something. He is right. There is a lot of whining and complaining and moaning. And
was Bosa held? Yes. The practice facility.
Why you got to bring that up? Like, I mean, but that's what I'm saying.
Complaint.
That happens all the time. Holding that happens. Practice field, deal with it. Who cares? Who deal with it?
And Christian McCaffrey.
What did he say? Hold on. What did he say about the quarterback situation in the NFC Championship game?
I will get it here.
Yeah, please get that.
First of all, he said, all you heard from any Niner all off season, every Niner player or fan, was the only reason they lost to the Eagles was because both quarterbacks got hurt.
No, keep going. Keep reading.
By the way, that's a pretty valid complaint.
But
Josh Johnson was playing.
What else did he say? Whitey, which script you reading from?
And then this is from SI.com.
Oh, see, you didn't see the full quote. You didn't see the full quote. Hold on, I'm gonna pull it up right here because my guy Ross Tucker is speaking the truth right now. And you looked at the SI story.
But everything he's saying the Niners complained about is also true.
It's true, but
complaint.
You don't have to always bring it up. We know, we saw it. All right, I got the article from Awful Announcing right here. I just pulled it up.
Okay,
and I got the same quotes.
All right.
First of all, you heard from Niners all off season.
Yeah.
My recommendation would be to not let your quarterbacks get hurt, not let the defense kill your quarterbacks. And then they talked about it all off season. Okay, that's that. Don't let your QB get hit. And Ross Tucker's speaking 100% facts right there.
Well, he's an offensive 100%.
100%.
Right.
Oh, G-Man coming in throwing more punches than the Kings did the other night. Hopefully we see some fight in our boys tonight, G-Man.
Optimistic tonight, sir? Optimistic? Yeah. Better effort.
All right, that's what I want to hear.
All we need. Thank you.
G-Man, see you in a little bit.
Gerald.
Yes.
Yeah.
So no, Ross Tucker, man.
Oh, where were we?
He's all those things happen, yes. But it's like we don't need to constantly hear about it. We know your quarterback was knocked out. We know your backup was knocked out. Don't let it happen.
Wait,
there's more. What he said?
Not from Ross Tucker, but from Nick Bosa. They had the alarm that was pulled, and it was just after 6 a.m. So it wasn't like at 4 o'clock.
Yeah.
But anyway,
should be up anyway.
Bosa said, "I'm sure somebody did it." Then he said, "It kind of reminded me of Philly when they had this construction going on outside. It was early in the morning, and they were like demolishing a bridge right outside of our hotel. We haven't had the best of luck, but no excuses." That actually is another complaint.
Exactly, right? Nobody even knew about the construction in Philly. Nobody even brought that up. He volunteered.
Had no
Bosa, man, the Niners don't deserve to win this game. They're doing too much whining and crying. Play football. What are we doing?
Yeah.
Play football.
The practice facility thing was a disaster. The NFL was scandalous.
Yeah.
What the practice field that they had to work out on. Some of the other stuff. All right. And they're mad because Debo made a big deal. Debo was the one, right? All off season.
Yeah.
And then what did the Eagle fans say? What did you Eagle fans say? All right. Well, we'll see you on December 3rd, right?
Yeah.
That was the whole thing.
And they got the win. They avenged. They got the win. Exactly. You're in the Super Bowl. Stop whining. You should be talking about the Chiefs. How you going to slow down Mahomes? I don't want to hear about no fire alarm. I don't want to hear about no crummy field. Be quiet. Come on now. This first world problems we're hearing.
They didn't even complain about the field. The commissioner let it be known. They didn't complain publicly.
You know who complained about the field?
Came out.
You know who complained about the field?
Who's that?
All them in the bag media members like Matt Mayoko and all the people. They carried their water for them. They didn't have to complain. They got word out to the beat writers who are glorified fans. Come on, Whitey. I hate that, man.
Yeah. Well, we'll have as I said, my fear is that seriously, whoever loses the game, we're going to have a lot of complaints from their side because Bill Vinovich, the head referee,
yes,
he lets them play as we discussed yesterday.
Let them play. Let them decide it on the field,
which is bad for the 49ers because the Chiefs offensive line, they set records this year for penalties.
I don't want to hear no whining from Niners fans afterwards. Let the players decide the game.
It was like the bad boy Pistons fouled every play. You can't come. They're holding every play.
Hey.
I can't throw a flag on every play.
They got 2 championships out of it. Exactly. And so my thing is, this is my greatest hope, though, and I know we're joking around a little bit. My greatest hope is that the officials don't ruin the game.
I agree.
Late, with a bad call or a missed call. It's like let the game be pure, and if you see it, call it. Okay, I get that, but don't. I don't want any controversy surrounding this game.
Mm-hmm. I know most people would say the best way to get there, to achieve that, is to let them play. I think sometimes you go back. I'm going to complain now.
See?
I didn't mean to.
Complaining again. I told you the media is complaining.
Pass interference on Crabtree in the Super Bowl in New Orleans against the Ravens. Clear pass interference, but it's the Super Bowl, so we're going to let it go.
Exactly. Let them play.
Jim Harbaugh told me it's pass interference, whether it's the Super Bowl or it's not the Super Bowl. You still have to throw a flag.
Dude,
no wonder
you're still bringing that up. You're bringing up old stuff. Unbelievable, man.
I'm with you. The one thing I agree with you on, I really, really, really hope it's a close game, and I think there's a really good chance.
A good game. Yeah, I mean, because I think these are two really good teams, two really good coaches, the star players. This is going to be a great game.
Says Whitey 100. Yes.
No, but
yes.
He said Philadelphia always repairing that bridge since 1977. No, pretty much. You're right about that.
Is the big dig in Boston finished yet?
Yes, it's finished.
Okay, all right.
That was a mess, right? My gosh, yeah, it's done. But they're always doing work down here too. Always doing work. Yep.
We're going to be doing some work with Mike Bibby. He joins us next. Drive Guys, Golden One Center. Sactown Sports.
Last season, the Sacramento Kings gave us a little bit of everything. A Pacific Division type GM of the Year, Coach of the Year, Clutch Player of the Year, All-Stars and All-NBA performers. Plus, we got to light the beam.
Here's a steal by Fox, the breakaway. He's got the rip with the left hand.
What does this season have in store? Find out. Each and every Sacramento Kings game can be heard right here on your proud home of the Beam team, Sactown Sports at SactownSports.com.
Oh no, your little one has caught a cold and has a cough. Help them feel better fast with DayQuil Kids from Vicks. It's specifically formulated just for kids, and it helps treat their most bothersome cold symptoms. It's also available in 2 delicious flavors, honey and berry. DayQuil Kids is the daytime congestion, coughing, stuffy head, stuffy nose, just for kids medicine. Pick it up at your local pharmacy or any major retailer today. For kids 6 and up, use as directed.
Hey, it's Carmichael Dave asking you, are you feeling the pain of paying more and more for your gas? PG&E has increased their rates 4 times in the last 5 years, and the new forecast says PG&E customers may see their bills increase 32% by 2026. The good thing is there are steps you can take to protect yourself from these rate hikes, and better yet, American Energy may be able to help you completely eliminate your gas bill with a new ultra-high efficiency comfort system. Did you know SMUD offers huge rebates to eliminate your old gas guzzler? They can help you guide through the whole process. Seriously, listen to me. You go to the SMUD website. There's tons of rebates available, but it is confusing on how to do it. Listen to these rebates. $2,500 from American Energy, $3,500 from SMUD, $1,000 from Caltech, $2,000 home system upgrades. That's $9,000 in rebates. Let American Energy help you out at 916-520-9990.
Call 916-520-9990 now.
Hello, Sacramento. I'm Emron Plotty, owner of True Sports Cards and Collectible Store here in Rockland, California, and the host of the True Sports Cards Show that airs right here on Sactown Sports 1140 every Saturday from 10 to 11 a.m., where we discuss the latest trends, hottest products, and deliver exclusive interviews with other industry leaders. And don't forget to visit our shop, True Sports Cards, at 6661 Stanford Ranch Road in Rockland and see what we have for all your sports card and memorabilia needs.
Carmichael Dave here for Jiffy Lube, your proud sponsor of Sactown Sports 1140's road trip to Vegas for the big game. For all the latest game news to all the celebrity interviews from Media Row to all the festivities going on during game week, Sactown Sports has it all covered, just like Jiffy Lube, the place to go before you go on your next road trip. Oil changes, wiper blades, tire rotations, and more. Hey, for valuable coupons and a location near you, visit jiffylube.com.
Imagine it's the final game of the season, but your symptoms of irritable bowel syndrome with constipation, or IBS-C, are making a comeback. What should you do? Keep managing your constipation with belly pain the same old way? Or try getting ahead of your symptoms by talking to your doctor about Linzess, linaclotide. Linzess is a prescription medicine that treats IBS-C in adults. It's not a laxative. It's a once-daily pill that helps you get ahead of your symptoms. It's proven to help you have more frequent and complete bowel movements and helps relieve overall abdominal symptoms, belly pain, discomfort, and bloating. These symptoms were studied in combination, not individually.
Do not give Linzess to children less than 2. It may harm them. Do not take Linzess if you have a bowel blockage. Get immediate help if you develop unusual or severe stomach pain, especially with bloody or black stools. The most common side effect is diarrhea, sometimes severe. If it's severe, stop taking Linzess and call your doctor right away. Other side effects include gas, stomach area pain, and swelling.
Imagine, what could relief from IBS-C mean for you? Talk to your doctor and say yes to Linzess. Learn more at linzess.com or call 1-800-LINZESS.
Visit new and exciting places across the U.S. On Amtrak, it isn't just about the destination, it's about the journey. Without any busy airports or cramped car rides, with no middle seats, extra legroom, and first-class private rooms. New adventures are just an Amtrak away. Book now at Amtrak.com.
All guests come to you from the Folsom Lake Honda Hotline. Folsom Lake Honda, your one-stop Honda shop.
From the Power Business Technology Toshiba Studios. KHTKAM Sacramento. KYMX HD2 Sacramento. Sacramento's official home for the San Francisco 49ers.
Touchdown! San Francisco!
Sactown Sports.
Your afternoon home for Kings Talk and so much more. The Drive Guys on Sactown Sports.
Coming to you from the Golden One Center, where we have a really early crowd.
Yeah, that's a group right there.
Yeah,
huh?
Got here nice and early, enjoying the warm-ups. Kevin Gleason, Kyle Draper, getting ready for the Kings and the Nuggets, and Kyle Draper has a special guest for us.
Yes, sir. I got my guy, the Kings legend. You can see him on Kings pre- and post-game live with me tonight, beginning at 6:30. A fan favorite, one of the nicest guys I know. And I'm about to school him on the golf course Tuesday in Phoenix. So the fact that he's coming on with me, knowing he's about to get his butt kicked, shows you what kind of guy he is. My guy, Mike Bibby, joining the Drive Guys. What's up, Mike? You like that introduction?
Yeah, that was good. I appreciate that.
Hey,
One
man,
thing you
happy to
said
have.
wrong, though.
I'm wrong, though.
Yeah.
Hey, before we talk about basketball, can you explain these golf rules again to me? Because, when I play golf with friends, Whitey, you hit it out of bounds. You'll take the distance. All right, I'll just do a drop, or I'll take a few mulligans, some gimme putts, stuff like that. Mike is saying we need to play by PGA Tour rules. What's going on here, Mike?
We always play for money. Like when I play my friends for money, and so it's been getting kind of out of hand, where people drop the ball, and so just to clear all that up, if you hit it in the house, you got to hit from where you hit it in the house out, and lose a stroke. So kind of PGA Tour rules is close. We don't go to the full extent like that, but it's close.
Yeah, you know what, Kyle? There's a word for the type of game that might play. It's called golf.
No. But when you're among friends, Mike, we ain't playing for no high stakes and nothing. We there to chop it up in the bond. I don't want it to be miserable, big dog. Wow. I'm just saying, man.
Yeah. When you hit the ball in the water, I'm sorry. You got to take a
hit the ball good.
Yeah.
I tell you what, Mike, I'm bringing my clubs all the way to Phoenix on this 3-game road trip. Let me at least get a mulligan on the front 9 and one on the back 9, something like that. Let me at least get that.
But then you can't say if you win that you win because you got an extra guy.
Mike Bibby joining us here on the Drive, guys. Sactown Sports 1140. Mike, let's talk about this game tonight in the Sacramento Kings. Knowing what you saw the other night against Detroit, what's the appropriate response tonight from the Kings players?
Kings, good teams bounce back. So when you have a good team, you know that you gave one away. Good teams will face they'll face that and know that they have to win tonight. It's like a must-win game for them. It's a tough team. I think they're number 1 in the West, and you just got to bounce. You have to have a good bounce-back game.
Mike, is there an upside in the locker room once the trade deadline has come and gone? I know you've been traded. You've been on teams that benefited from trades, and there's a lot of uncertainty. And now, okay, a lot of fans wanted something more to happen, but these guys that are here, they know that, all right, we're here. Is there some upside to that? Is there a sense of, all right, relief once the deadline has come and gone?
I think there's a relief because, there was some, they was talking about trading a few guys on the team all year. And just for it to get by and know that you're here, it takes the whole weight off people's shoulders. And now you could play without looking over your shoulder like some of the guys that were thinking about trading.
Mike Bibby joining us. You'll see him tonight at 6:30 on the pregame show, NBC Sports California. Mike, I'm looking at a guy like De'Aaron Fox, all-world player. We know that, all NBA, but only 12 points the other night. Sort of, just one of many out there, really not standing out. You've played with star players. You've been a star player. Do we need more from De'Aaron Fox? Should a star player make his presence felt every single night?
I think he should, yeah. But you're like I said, he's a human being. He's going to have times where it doesn't go great all the time. Like you said, he's all pro. He's all NBA. He was in the MVP running at the beginning of the season just for how aggressive and how hard he was playing. I think it kind of fell back a little bit, but you still see those glimpses. But he is a human being, so it isn't going to happen every night. That's just how life is. You're not going to play perfect game every night. And so, as long as he comes out and plays aggressive from the start, and then I think he gets energy and instead of trying to pick it up halfway through the game.
Mike, I know that Jokic is he might be the best player in the world. So I know he's better than Vlade, but in some ways, how is Nikola Jokic and what Vlade did when you play with him? How are they similar?
Passing, it doesn't look like they're moving fast out there, but they're moving pretty good. They're moving at their pace, and they're playing the game at their pace. But the best thing I think that they do is get their teammates involved. And I think with Jokic, you either have to give him one or the other. You can't really give him both. Maybe let Domas play him one-on-one and then just close everybody else off. And just to see if he could score 80 points and then go from there. But you can't give him both games to play.
Yeah, you're right about that. You can't allow him to pick you apart scoring and passing. No doubt about that. Mike, trade deadline came and gone, no moves really. And I get the sense from some Kings fans, some frustrations. What would be your message, I guess, with where this team stands right now and how much farther they have to go to become a championship contender?
Well, I mean, they're in seventh now. They're not in bad shape. They haven't had a great season so far. They're not in bad shape. Like I said, they didn't make any trades to where people could stop looking over their shoulders now. So it might get better, but you just have to have consistency. I think if they want to be a championship team, and it hasn't been there this year. You've seen it in spurts, but I think consistency is the biggest thing for them. You can't have few great games, then get blown out twice. A few great games, then you can't go like that. So you have to get some kind of consistency and win the games that you're supposed to win, and win a lot of the games that you're not supposed to win.
Mike, we know that today Monty talked about how he'd like to see the team push pace a little more. Mike Brown has talked about that a lot. How important is that going forward to get the offense more consistent? And how important is it, especially tonight, against a team with a center that isn't that quick, and also a team that played last night?
I mean, that's their game. I think that's when the Kings are at their best, is when they push the pace and they play. But you have to get stops. If you're not getting stops, then it's going to be hard to push on made baskets. Yeah. So, I mean, they're coming off back-to-back. They're probably tired. Just go at them from the start. You can't come in here and just see how this game feels. You got to come in from the start of this game. And like I said, get some consistency, and you have to have a good bounce-back game. Good teams have good bounce-back games. You need a good bounce-back game tonight.
Mike Bibby, Kings legend, joining us here, Sactown Sports 1140. Mike, obviously you played on some great Kings teams, and speak to the expectations you guys had. And, when you look at this year's Kings team, the expectations from the fan base seems to be high. You talk to the people within the building, it seems to be high. How does going from 48 wins and the number 3 seed, everybody feeling all good and everything, now you got to bounce back and expectations are even higher. Just discuss that as a player. What was that like playing with those high expectations?
It just, you're expected to come out and win. We had people on our bench, like if the stars weren't coming out with fire, we had a good team off the bench too that would help. And we had some saying, I forget what it was. It was like, get the 40 wins before 20 losses.
Yes.
It was something, but I mean, you just have to start stacking up the wins, and the wins, when you start piling up the wins, then the record starts to get better, and you can look at the record. Okay, we're moving up in the standings and this and that, but the expectations we weren't really expecting. I don't want to say we didn't care what everybody was thinking, but we trusted each other. I see the same way how this Kings team was when we were. These guys generally like each other. You could tell by them out there on the court. You don't see any egos, you don't see any bad attitude. Mm-hmm. But these guys generally like each other. So, it should be easier that way. But we didn't really care what the outside was thinking in. It was just what we thought, how we had to go out to play. And everybody was held accountable on that team. There was no, even Webb, our best player, he held himself accountable. So that it made it trickle down to everybody. Like, okay, can't mess up. If I do, you take the blame and you move on.
Mike, if I may, I wanted to ask you about Kobe last night. They unveiled a statue, and like a lot of people that saw you guys play in the old Arco against Kings, against the Lakers, I was not a Kobe fan, but, so sad when we lost him a few years ago, which, by the way, was right before Chiefs 49ers Super Bowl. What was it like playing against the Mamba? What was it like when, he broke your nose and they called a foul on you? What was it? I remember Shaq would foul out of the games here and people would start chanting, Kobe sucks. And you could see he just loved it. What was it like playing against a competitor like that?
It was just amazing to say that I played against, I consider him a, top 3 player ever. And just to be on the same court with him and have those battles, it's something that I'll be able to go to my grave with and be able to hold my head high that, we battled against one of the top teams to ever play. They had a dynasty with him and Shaq. And, Shaq is the most dominating player I've ever seen in my life. And so just to be on the court with those two guys and just be able to have those battles, it was amazing. His determination was second to none. And, like if you look at him, he honed himself after Michael Jordan. You could watch the highlight tapes of same moves, same demeanor, same everything. It's the second coming of Jordan. I'm just happy to be on the court. To even get a chance to was a friend of mine.
Mike, do you think the league misses those kind of rivalries, that kind of hatred amongst teams and fan bases?
I think so. But I think the NBA is doing good right now, I'd say. But those rivalries, those are for the fans. For the fans that have something to go against. But other than that, I think everybody's too nice to each other now.
Mike Bibby joining us here, Sactown Sports 1140, The Drive Guys. Mike, I'm going to let you go, my man. I'll see you in about an hour or so as we get ready for Kings pregame live on NBC Sports California. I tell you what, I have not packed my golf clubs yet. They're a little dirty. I'm gonna pack them tonight, but they're a little dirty because I was playing in the sand a lot and in the mud a lot. I wasn't hitting them from the fairways or anything, the lush stuff. So I got to clean them off, but I'll be ready come Tuesday, man.
Thank you, Mike.
Good. Sounds good. Thank you, guys.
All right, good stuff, Mike. See you in a little bit. Oh, man.
When we come back, can the Kings do to the Nuggets tonight what they did to them in December? Next, as we wrap things up from the Golden One, Drive Guys, Sactown Sports.
Jiffy Lube, a proud partner of Sactown Sports, is sending Styles and Watkins on the road to Las Vegas. Road trip! Starting Wednesday from 10 to 2, join the guys live from Radio Row as they get exclusive interviews to prep you for the big game.
Vegas, baby, Vegas!
It's Styles and Watkins live from Vegas, all part of our Jiffy Lube road trip on Sactown Sports and the Sactown Sports app.
Are you stressing about your IRS tax problems? Have you received notices from the IRS threatening to garnish your wages, levy your bank accounts, or seize your property? You need an ally. Allies Tax Relief has tax attorneys and enrolled agents that are ready to fight for you. They have saved millions for taxpayers just like you. Allies Tax Relief can help put a stop to IRS collections and, most importantly, negotiate your tax debt. Here's Brenda, a happy client of Allies Tax Relief.
I owed the IRS around $57,000, and they're about to start garnishing my paychecks. I heard a commercial on the radio about Allies Tax Relief, so I thought I'd give them a call. After a day, they were able to at least stop the garnishments, and after a few months of negotiations, I walked away owing the IRS only $301.
If you owe the IRS, call Allies Tax Relief right now for your free consultation. Call 800-805-1723. 800-805-1723. That's 800-805-1723.
The Drive Guys powering your afternoons Monday through Friday on Sactown Sports.
Yeah, thank you for all the kind comments about Mike Bibby. Thanks to Mike Bibby for coming on. Thank you, Kyle Draper, for inviting him and lining him up. I got to point out here, Campio's right. The way we started the conversation, talking about you and complaining about Mike Bibby plays by the rules. Campio says you play a money game, you play by the rules of golf. Yeah.
No, you play a money game, you set the rules amongst each other first. Mike was dictating the rules to me. This is how it's going to be. What if I'm not?
You're like a Mulligan Marty or something? Oh, can I take that one again?
I will take some gimmies on the green, though. I will.
Well, that's if he gives them to you. But
if he gives them,
you can't, complain.
This will be my first time golfing with Mike Bibby. So I'm a little nervous. The guy lives in Arizona. Access to golf courses every single day. Former athlete. I mean, I'm in some trouble. I thought we were just going out for a friendly game of golf. Then he comes up with all these rules in here.
He didn't come up with
we got
rule.
A rules official following us and everything. I tell you what, the foot wedge will be in full effect on Tuesday. When he's over on the other side of the fairway, preferred lies. That's what I'm talking about.
That is disappointing.
That's it at Campio. I can improve your game, Draper. I give golf lessons, guaranteed improvement. Give golf lessons, 3-point shooting from Ray Allen, You were there for Wilt's first game.
His cousin
copy-
is Dustin Johnson.
Right, exactly.
Yeah, you
Copy
didn't know
of
that?
this guy. Unbelievable, man. Love you, man. Love you.
The Kings beat the Nuggets back in December 2nd.
Yes.
123-117.
Remember that game.
No
Jamal Murray that game.
48-18 scoring advantage from beyond the three-point line. 45-22 dominance in bench points. Malik outscored the entire Denver bench by himself with 26 points. Is any of that repeatable? Does any of that matter tonight? Three-point shooting certainly matters.
Oh, definitely matters. Definitely matters. But, this Denver team is different than the Denver team we saw then. This Denver team back then, they weren't playing that well early in the season. No Jamal Murray. Like, they're playing their best basketball of the season right now. And they know who they are. Is that my boy Reggie Jackson? Yeah, that's Reggie Jackson. I might have to get Reggie, Nuggets player Reggie Jackson walking on the floor. Now that's my guy.
Sure.
Right, that's my guy. That's my guy. But no, this is a different Nuggets team. And so, sure, 3-point shooting. Hopefully our bench, I think we should have the advantage when it comes to the bench tonight. I think this will be a big bench game for us. But it's going to be a tough one, man. That dude right there, Christian Brown, warming up at the top of the key. He's nasty, man.
Yeah.
He's a good player.
It's interesting the way the Nuggets, because they're paying some of their best players a lot of money, and they're a really good team, so they got to have depth. So they've really been focusing on developing some of their draft picks, even second rounders, and trying to get the most out of those guys, which is an interesting way to go going forward. As you said, Denver playing really good basketball now. That's what you'd like to have going if you're a team that's serious about making some postseason noise. So let's hope the Kings, it looked like they had some things figured out. Big step back Wednesday. Let's see them take a step forward again tonight.
And I think these next 3 games, Whitey, are massive. Because if you got 3 tough games coming up. 4 actually. You got Denver, you got OKC, you got Phoenix and Denver. At worst, it should be 2-2. If you could go 3-1 over these next 4 going into the All-Star break, hit the recharge button, get yourself healthy and well, ready mentally, I think that would go a long way towards propelling this team. Like I always say, you got the second half of the season, unofficial second half, the stretch run, if you will.
Yeah.
Well, why not start the stretch run right now?
Right.
Why not ramp up right now? Why wait till after All-Star break?
Yeah, especially given that you're playing these teams in the West.
Right.
I know, Denver is a little they're a little bit out ahead of you, but still the point is,
but that Phoenix game,
you've lost 2 in a row, and for all the talk of, it's a long season and losses happen, right now in the West, you're 7th, right? It was funny. Monty today was I think we're 6th or 7th. He knew what they were, because later he goes, we're 7th right now.
Right.
But you lose a couple games in a row and you sink like a stone.
That's the thing.
That's not fan talk about overreacting. That's a fact in the West right now.
That's a fact. You lose 1 game, which we saw the other day against Detroit. You go from 5 to 7. And I mentioned it earlier. Here come the Warriors. I still don't buy into the Warriors. I don't think all of a sudden they're this deep threat or anything like that.
Oh, we figured it out. That's why we
right. And I'm just
we're searching.
No. I'm looking at the standings. You got the Mavericks, who are a game behind. You're 3.5 ahead of the Lakers, 4.5 ahead of the Jazz. What's interesting, though, and I don't know if anybody saw this, FanDuel has their odds to win the championship.
Yeah.
Guess where the Sacramento Kings are just in the Western Conference? Where would you say the Kings are to win a championship in the Western Conference?
You mean like odds or
odds
ranking?
to win it? Odds to win.
Oh, I don't know. 45-1?
No, I mean ranking.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, ranking.
Yeah. Well, probably like 8th.
Close. Let me tell you the teams ahead of the Kings.
Okay.
Nuggets. All right.
Yeah,
okay,
sure.
I understand that. Clippers.
Uh-huh.
That's fine. That's fine. Suns.
All right.
All right. You okay with that?
Yeah.
Thunder.
Okay.
Timberwolves. All right. I get it.
Mm-hmm.
Mavericks. Yeah. Pelicans.
Whoa.
That's what I'm talking about, Whitey. Lakers. That's what I'm talking about.
Yeah.
And then your Sacramento Kings,
9th,
who are at plus 5,500, and the Warriors are at plus 8,000 right now. But they're 9th. They're behind the Pelicans and Mavericks and the FanDuel betting for odds to win the championship.
That's because it's betting and bettors. They look at, Dallas just went out. They got PJ Washington. Ooh, watch out for them. And Kings, who do they have? They don't even have any all-stars. Right?
But perception is reality. That's what I'm talking about, Whitey. No, because so would you're okay with being 9th? Why not be 4th in the West? That's what I'm talking about. You beat Detroit. You beat Charlotte. There's no reason why the Pelicans, the Mavericks should be ahead of you in terms of, like, if you handle your business.
Well, the Pelicans are ahead of you even in the standings.
Right? But Dallas is a game behind you.
Yeah.
You got, the Pelicans are ahead of you, but come on, man. I just think the fact that bettors think we're the 9th best team in the
bettors don't know. I understand what you're saying. I'm not disagreeing, but it's like bettors have no idea. Nobody knows what goes on here. No one has any clue. People still don't understand how good this team was last year. By the way, I got to ask you, because Dallas apparently they are, at least they're controlling the narrative this way. They're thrilled to get rid of your guy Grant Williams.
Yeah,
they said that he rubbed people the wrong way.
Yeah, Grant is an acquired taste.
Okay,
even in Boston. People would be like, "Shut up, Grant!" Like, he's always yapping. He's always, making jokes like it's, irritating, kind of a know-it-all too, if you will. I love Grant. I love him as a person. I love him as a guy. I love him as a player. But I could see how he could get on somebody's nerves. Did you hear the story too? He used to wear Lukas and then switch to Tatum's. Yeah. And that kind of pissed Luka off supposedly.
Man. And so he goes from the Celtics, and then he was with the Mavericks, and now he's going to Charlotte.
Purgatory.
Yeah.
Yeah. No man's land.
Yeah. Drapes, before we wrap things up here,
yes.
I don't think we've actually officially done this yet. Super Bowl predictions. You want to go? You want me to go?
That's a tough question, Whitey. I need a.
All right.
That's my Emil Foroso. No, you go first. You go first.
All right. I like the 49ers' chances to get at Mahomes. I like the 49ers' chances to run the ball, keep Mahomes and his catch-up on the sidelines.
All right.
So I like the 49ers in this game. And the reason I'm hesitating is because I want to say it'll be the same score. No, I want to say same score as the last Super Bowl, but reversed. And now I can't remember what
the last Super Bowl.
Was it 31-20? Anyway, I like the 49ers. I think they'll cover. And I know everyone's crazy about Mahomes with good reason, but offensively, the Chiefs are not they're not close to what they were. Their defense has been great, but I think Shanahan figures out the Chiefs defense, and I think the 49er defense has their way with Mahomes this year.
So give me a score.
Well, I think it's 31-20.
31. I'm going Chiefs, of course.
Right.
And I put this out there on, because we did a Sactown Sports
I did too.
poll. Did you? And I had the Chiefs winning 27-26, I think. 27-24, something like that. So I think it's going to be a close game. I think it's going to be a great game. I think Patrick Mahomes in the clutch is going to be better than Brock Purdy. So that's why I go with the Chiefs.
All right. Yeah. So 31-20.
Yep.
And that's you were. I think weren't you kind of close on the Lions?
I was.
Yeah.
I said I was the only one that said that would be a game. Remember?
Who's your MVP?
MVP. I'm gonna go with Travis Kelce.
Ooh.
The year of Taylor Swift.
No.
Tay gets it done. Everything she touches turns to gold, baby.
I think the MVP is going to be, and it's going to be one of those, wow, who saw that coming? Kyle Juszczyk.
Come on.
You watch. He's going to score 3 touchdowns.
3 touchdowns?
Yeah, because
they're going to be like 1 yard, power.
A couple of them will be a reception.
A nice little reception.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Kyle Juszczyk will be the stunning. You want an X factor? There you go.
That's
Deebo Samuel's not an X factor, right?
Right.
Brock
Purdy is the X factor.
Yeah.
He's your starting quarterback.
All right. The one thing we agree on, just hope it's a
good
close game.
Yep.
And let's get a good game tonight. Let's see the Kings with some energy.
Like the beam, baby. Like the beam.
Have a good telecast. We'll see you on TV.
Yep.
6:30
Thank you. Game, man.
Thank you very much for being with us all week long. We appreciate it. Stick around for game night next here on your home of the Kings and your home of the 49ers, Sactown Sports.
The 49ers earned the NFC's top seed.
On the first play of the game, CMC Dino